Welcome to Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove, Texas, where tonight we've got the second half of our Champs Heart of Texas Bowl doubleheader. It's a NCAA Division II contest between Ft.Hays State University out of Hays, Kansas, and the Greyhounds from Eastern New Mexico University in Portales, New Mexico. I'm Joe Lombardi along with Kirk Whitehead. And Kirk, tonight we have a team that we don't see much of this anybody. You don't see these option offenses.
Not very much, and that's something that Ft.Hays is really going to have to adjust to. Talking to their coach, Chris Brown, last night, they've played anybody all year that runs the triple option, and that's what Eastern New Mexico hangs their hat on. So it's going to be interesting to see how they adjust to that.
Now, talking about the other side, the Ft.Hays State Tigers, are these guys wide open or what?
Well, they run kind of a pro-style offense, and a lot of it's going to depend tonight on which quarterback's in the ball game. Their starter, Jacob Mazzara, missed their last game. They think he'll play tonight, but it's going to be a game-time decision. The other quarterback, Brad Schenker, is a little bit different. They tend to run the ball a little bit more when he's in there, so a lot of it's going to depend on who they've got behind center.
Okay, what are your Kirk's keys to victory?
Well, I'll tell you, the first one is, and we had the same one last year with Eastern New Mexico here, they've got to control Cass. Kamal Cass is the fullback for Eastern New Mexico. He's one of the leading rushers in the Lone Star Conference. Everything they do is off the fullback. If they can get the fullback going, then it could be a long night for you. Ft.Hays, their two inside backers are two of the top 5 tacklers in NCAA Division II, so it'll be a good matchup between them. Second thing is moving the chains. Ft.Hays needs to move the chains. They haven't been really good on third downs, only converting about 32% of the time. They need to convert on third down and keep the football, because when you give it to Eastern New Mexico, they don't let you have it back. The third thing is we've had rain here all day. It's about 50 degrees, going to be dropping. You got to hang on to the football. When that football gets wet, it's hard to hang on to. So we're going to have to really keep an eye on the turnovers and what happens when somebody gets a turnover. Are they able to capitalize on it? I think those are the keys to the game, Joe.
Okay, there you have it. And we'll be back to kick this thing off here very, very shortly on ESPN3. Hang with us. Welcome back to Bulldog Stadium. All the pregame activities are done, and it's time to play football around here. Good evening, folks. I'm Big Joe Lombardi along with Kirk Whitehead, and it's the Division II section of our Champs Heart of Texas Bowl telecast this year. Kirk, what do you think, man? You know, you've said it all already, but anything to change your mind on any of our topics?
I just, think as we get ready for the ball game here, both teams come in 7-4. They both come from really good conferences. Eastern New Mexico out of the Lone Star Conference, always one of the toughest conferences in the country. Ft.Hays State is out of the Mid-American Intercollegiate Conference. That is a really tough conference. Eastern New Mexico runs a triple option. Ft.Hays hangs their hat on their defense, and so I think it's going to be a great matchup and a really good football game.
Interesting thing about it, the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico are 3-2-1 against Ft.Hays State. These teams have not met since a 30-23 setback for Eastern New Mexico, and that was in Hays, Kansas, November 17th, 1979. So it's been a day or two since they played.
None of these players were born. I was 11, and you were probably already calling football.
Probably was. In fact, I was calling Copperas Cove Bulldog football in 1979.
Right.
Okay. Well, the coin toss has been dealt with. I'm pretty sure while I was talking, I think I saw the referee, Andy Dunklin, motion that the Greyhounds had won the toss but had elected to defer. If that is indeed the case, that means that the Ft.Hays State Tigers will be getting the football on the south end of Bulldog Stadium, the end away from the scoreboard. We're still waiting on the teams to come out.
You know, we've got a pretty good wind that's picked up, Joe, so that could play a, you know, 30 minutes ago we were talking about we had no wind, and you can tell by looking at the goalpost that the flags on top of the goalpost are really flying around right now. So,
yep, you're right. And, well, our assumption was correct. It'll be the Ft.Hays State Tigers on offense first, and the Greyhounds from Eastern New Mexico University will be kicking off. Now back to receive on the deep side for the Tigers. On the near side of the field, it's going to be DeAndre James. And across the way, let's put the glasses on him. It's going to be Charles Tigner. And the kickoff man for the Greyhounds is Bailey Hale out of Iowa Park, Texas. And here he comes, and this game is underway. It's a line drive over everybody's head. Line's halfway deep in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25-yard line, and it'll be a touchback, and we'll go that way. And we get to see the Ft.Hays State offense first tonight. And obviously what they want to do is take the ball down the field and score, because like you said, Kirk, you really don't want to give the ball up to Eastern New Mexico, because they'll hang on to it for 2 hours.
And we're going to get one of our questions answered here. It looks like number 4, Jacob Mazzara, sophomore out of Orange Park, Florida, is in the ball game and will start. That was a big question mark coming into this game of whether or not he would be able to play or not.
Bilal Silat is split out wide to the right side. And the officials are still making sure that everything's right. They're telling the clock operator to put some time back on the clock because of the fact that it started and nobody touched the football. So there still should be 15 minutes left in the first quarter, and that's what we've got. Okay, good deal. Now they've got a football coming in. Each team is allowed to use their own football. Kirk, remember when you and I were kids, you used the same ball all night long. If it got, if it got kicked out of the field, you had to go get it.
That's right.
Okay, here's Massera standing up with a running back next to him. He's going to throw on first down. He has completed the pass out there in the left flat. 3 Greyhounds all over him to get the ball down, and completion is made to Kenneth Ihim, number 3. Or is that 3? Yeah. Nope, it's 9. My fault. Lane Biberly makes the first catch. It's good for 5 yards. Second down and 5 coming up. The ball is on the far hash mark. They are going from left to right. And the handoff to the second man. One of the running backs comes up with the ball, and that is Shaquille Cooper. Cooper is shy of the first down. He got a couple on that one, so we'll call this 3rd and 3, a long 3 or a short 4, whichever one you want to call it.
And Cooper, Joe, is a name that we're going to hear a lot tonight. He is their go-to guy in the backfield. Is one of the top backs in Division II football, and out of Coral Gables, Florida.
Here's Massera lined up now in the pistol. Actually, that was a Wildcat. I was looking at the wrong guy. And carrying the mail up to the 35-yard line, and looks good enough for a first down, was the Wildcat quarterback, Charles Tigner, on the carry. And that will move the Sticks to the 35-yard line, almost the 36. Wide to the right side is Delgado, or Tigner, that is. One man goes in motion from the slot out in and then back out. And the pass is completed from Lucero to the 41-yard line, and coming down with the grab is Ryler Bacon. Stop made for the Greyhounds on that play by Charles Stevens. Another 5-yard gain. Kirk, seems like they're, just trying to jaw it out.
Yep.
5 yards at a time.
Taking what they're giving them and trying to get Mazzara back in game action, and he's looked sharp so far.
He's standing up, set to do something with the ball. Big, tall kid, and here he is. Rears back, throws it, first down. at the 47-yard line. And the ball again caught by Ryler Bacon.
Todd County coming up from his safety position there is one of the leading tacklers for Eastern New Mexico. Sophomore out of Albuquerque. Comes up and makes a good hit there on the stop, but not before they get a first down.
Got a single receiver out their direction. Ft.Hays State will keep the ball again on the Wildcat play. One man falls down, and now the ball carrier falls down because he got some help. That's Charles Tigner. He was pretty much tackled by Todd County, number 5. Those of you watching on TV tonight, the home team, the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds, are in green. They've got silver numbers, green helmets. And the Ft.Hays State Tigers, black headgears, white uniforms, black numbers. Second down and 3 up at the 45 in Eastern New Mexico's end. And this time Lucero chunks it out left on the flat. It's completed. Big play over there.
We're going to have a flag down here. I think we're going to get a hold down the field against Ft.Hays, and then we get another one over there with a little bit of extracurricular activity going on after the play.
Well, I'm glad the officials are taking control right off the bat, letting the players know there's not going to be any of that stuff going on, any of the pushing, shoving, jacking, jawing, whatever the case might be, if that is indeed the situation. But that would be, what, 30 yards in penalties on one play. Andy Dunklin is the referee in charge, the guy with the white hat on. He and his crew are looking over where the spots should be and where the ball will be enforced from. So they're looking at that right now. And he'll be coming out to tell us about it in a moment, I believe. It's holding against the Tigers, which is a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And did he have another one? Now he's turning his mic back on. Holding again against the Tigers. And then unsportsmanlike against the Tigers. So that's 25 yards, Kirk.
Really see what happens here at the end of the play.
Oh, yeah, a little shoving. Well, you hate to see that.
Yep.
I'm trying to find where
Usually
the center
second guy gets caught. I think that might have been what the situation was there.
Absolutely right. Ball's back at the 44 in Ft.Hays State's territory. So they've got to get to the Eastern New Mexico 42 for a first down. 2nd and 15 coming up. Quarterback for the Ft.Hays State Tigers is number 4, Jacob Mazera from Orange Park, Florida, as Kirk told you a few minutes ago. He's got his line set, 3 receivers wide, 2 of them to the right. Mazera fakes one way, goes back the other direction to one of the running backs, Kenneth Iheme, number 3. And Kenneth is back to the line of scrimmage +1, so it'll be 3rd down and about 14.
Really good play there. It's hard to read the numbers, but I believe that was number 2 that comes up there and fights off the block and makes a play, because if he doesn't, it looks like they're probably going to get a first down.
Okay, so now the offense again. The offense for Ft.Hays State lining up at the 45-yard line. 3rd down, 13. Here comes a man in motion across the formation. He pulls up in the slot, stops there. Mazera back to pass. Blitz is on. He's got it up in the air. It is completed, and it is going to be in for a touchdown. That's the man that caught the catch, is the man that caught the ball, Lane Biberly.
That was a great throw. As we go back here and look at it, from Mazera to Biberly, he threw him open that time, Joe. You know, the defensive back is running right along beside him. Mazera throws him open. He runs out under it and scores. Really good play and a great way to start the game here for Ft.Hays.
Yeah.
Good looking drive.
Here's the try for point to come. Kicks away, and it is up high in the air, a mile up there. And the kick made by a fella named Brandon Brown. 7-0 Ft.Hays over Eastern New Mexico, who's about to get the ball for the first time tonight. You're watching the Hot Bowl on ESPN 3. Just about set for the kickoff now, as the Ft.Hays State Tigers have taken a 7-0 lead, and getting set to go with that, Brandon Brow's got the ball teed up at his own 35-yard line. On the far side to receive for the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds is number 3, Tashawn Gary, and on the near side, number 14, Root Henry. No, correction. That's not going to be Henry. That's going to be Kamal Cass, isn't it?
That's right.
Because Kamal Cass normally wears number 1, but he's got on 14 tonight.
I think they did that, Joe, just to keep you on your toes.
I think, too. I'm good about not being on my toes this late at night. I mean, it's bedtime for me. But anyway, here's Brandon Brown getting set to kick. Ball's being held by Akil Knowles, and there's the boot, and it's a high one, but not very deep at all. There's a fair catch called for at the 27-yard line.
Going to get an offside here on Ft.Hays.
So a re-kick coming, or will they take it there?
I don't know if they'll re-kick it or take it there and add 5 yards to it. Looks like that's what they're going to do. I don't know, into that kind of a wind, I might make them re-kick it.
I was thinking the same thing, but we'll find out. Okay, ref, tell us what's going to happen. Andy Dunklin, by the way, is the referee in charge for this ball game out of the Lone Star Conference. We'll get the call right now, I guess. But no, looks like they're going to line up, Kirk. Line up at the 33.
Yes, sir. They're ready to get going.
Okay, this is going to be the first touchdown for the Mexico Greyhounds, and they do like to run the football, no doubt about it. Quarterback's Wyatt Strand. He's a freshman from Logan, New Mexico. Under center he goes. Brings a man in motion. Keeps the ball himself. He's got 5, 8, almost 10 yards on the carry. In fact, he does have 10 yards, about 11 to be exact. That'll be a first down now for the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds.
Really good looking run here by Strand. They fake it up in the middle to Cass. Comes out there, makes a good move, and another move, breaks a tackle, and gets it up for a first down.
Tackle by Dorian Jabowu. Now a man goes in motion again. They're going to throw the football. It is incomplete. That's something they don't do that much.
They don't, but they were trying to get that ball out there to Aaron Johnson. When they do throw it, he's the guy that they look to get it to. He is number 3 in the Lone Star Conference in receiving, and a big, tall guy out of Colorado Springs, and has been a very good player for them over the last couple of seasons.
2nd down and 10. Strand under center. Puts a man in motion out of the left slot, now brings him back as Strand walks away from the center to see if there's a different play call. 9 seconds left on the play clock. 2nd down and 10 at the 43 in Eastern New Mexico's own end. And this time, the ball, now people are saying the ball's on the ground, and
I think it is, Joe.
Ft.Hays State's recovered. Let's see.
Don't think they ever got a clean exchange here. And Ft.Hays jumps on it, gets the first turnover of the ball game, and they're going to have it from the Eastern New Mexico end of the field.
Well, you said at the top that turnovers could be a big problem.
That's one of the things you run into with that triple option.
And the wet football, too.
Cass tried to take it. Strand tries to pull it out, and they're not on the same page and put the ball on the carpet. And Ft.Hays has a chance to go down here and get up 14-0. And when you run the football the way Eastern New Mexico does, you don't want to get way behind. It's hard to ever get caught back up. So this is an important drive here for the Eastern New Mexico defense.
10-17 left in the first quarter, 7-0. Ft.Hays State leading. Snap is back into the shotgun, and here's Macero trying to hit a guy across the middle. And that one was intended, looks to me like for Matt Wendelberger, the tight end, and he could not make the connection.
Yeah, that is, they had him open down the seam there, and it just, Mazzara just overthrew him just a little bit, but they were going for the jugular right there, right off of the turnover.
Now, this time they're going to send Charles Tigner, the guy that plays quarterback when they do the Wildcat thing, wide left. Wendelberger goes in motion, then stops. And it's a run, and good running your room, if I can ever get the words out. Down at the 20-something yard line. I couldn't see for sure, but I tell you that was Shaquille Cooper on the carry. And Cooper is knocked out down here on this end by Leonel Baltazar. But it's another big-time first down.
You can tell by looking here that Cooper's got an extra gear, and he's a special player. And the speed and elusiveness that he has are the reasons some of the NFL teams are already starting to look at him in his junior year.
Okay, Macero now looking over the defense, then checking back with the coaches to see what they want done. Is there a change of the play or not? I can tell you this, they're about to lose 5 yards if they don't get this ball snapped, and they just did. That'll do it unless they call a timeout.
Looks like Coach Brown's going to get a timeout call.
So it is a timeout call by the Ft.Hays State Tigers as to not to lose 5 yards on a delay of game penalty. So that's what it'll be. It will be 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Eastern New Mexico 23-yard line. You remember last year, Kirk, whenever we saw Eastern New Mexico, they had some issues at the very first part of the game, but they came back and eventually scored 35 points against Arkansas Tech.
Yeah.
And but they did lose the ball game, but they still showed that they can put points up when it's necessary.
That's right. Every time that we thought that they were out of it, they would pop a long run or get a turnover in short field and get back in the ball game. But this is important that they at least hold them to a field goal opportunity. And Joe, I tell you what, with the way the wind's blowing, if you're going north, you're going to have to get pretty close to kick a field goal.
Hey, here's Macero now standing up. Puts one man in motion, brings him back to the slot, and the snap is up. And Macero wants to throw the football, but Macero can't find anybody, so Macero goes down at the 24-yard line. That's going to be a sack.
Yeah. They were trying to get Cooper right here. If you see him, you'll see him leave out of the backfield. They're trying to get him on a wheel route down here. And Eastern New Mexico does a great job of, they ended up double teaming him down there and forced a sack.
So now 2nd down and 12, or 11 really. Now Macero has a new situation to deal with. He gets the snap. He's going to go out on the left flat. The pass is completed out there to Kenneth Iheme, number 3, but he's brought down pretty quick. In fact, I don't think he got a nickel's worth of real estate out of that.
I think he lost a couple of yards, Joe. That was a really nice play, and once again, I believe that was number 5, Todd County, comes up and makes the play. And he is definitely one of the leaders for Eastern New Mexico on the defensive side of the ball.
So now it's 3rd down and 12. And it's an empty backfield for Macera. Now he'll call Jabowu, I believe it is, back in with him. A lot of time to throw. Makes the completion count at the, it's number 82 at the 16-yard line, and that would be Bilal Salat.
Well, they're going to call it incomplete now, I believe, Joe.
Well, he must not have held on to it long enough, didn't have control or whatever. So now, with the incompletion, it'll be 4th down. Now this, if they do kick it, be a 45-yard try. They are going to go for it, too. Well, I say they're going to go for it. They're going to go for the kick.
Yeah, they've got Brandon Brown in the ball game. This is going to be, what, 43 yards into a pretty stiff north breeze. So.
Yes, sir, that's right. But they'll go for it. It's bowl game. Hey, come on, play.
Yep,
oh,
a bad
it's a fake.
snap.
Yeah, okay. And the holder is trying to get something going on it, and that would be Andrew J. Andrew cannot do anything with the ball, so he has to dump it to the ground, and the ball goes over on down.
I'm not so sure that they're not going to end up with the ball back here. Bad snap here. He's not able to handle it. Tries to run around. They've got people down the field, but he can't get him the ball. And I don't think that he got the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Nope, there goes the flag. They just dropped it.
That's right. It's going to give Eastern New Mexico very good field position. And, Joe, and that was a big, big stop for them.
Yes, it was.
They had to get a stop right there. And they get their offense back out on the field.
Clock stopped with 8:09 to play in the first quarter. 7-0. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico in the Division II game of the 16th annual Champs Heart of Texas Bowl at Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove, Texas. So here's Andy Dunklin, the referee. He says intentional grounding against Ft.Hays State. And that's lost it down, of course.
That took them a lot of time, Joe. If they'd have just listened to us, we'd already been back playing football.
I'd already been 2 snaps, wouldn't there?
Yeah.
So what we got to do now is watch and see where the center judge spots the ball. He puts it at the 39-yard line in Eastern New Mexico's end. Okay, everybody's going to get lined up, and we know where we're at, where we are now. There goes a man in motion for Eastern New Mexico. Ball's on the ground.
I think Strand was able to get that back, but that is an exchange problem between the quarterback and the fullback. Second time in a row he's tried to pull it, and Cass is trying to keep it, and it's just not working for him.
That's a loss of a yard. 2nd down and 11. So let's see what Wyatt Strand can do this time. He goes under center on each snap. And it's a pitch, and heading around the right side and getting yardage on that play. There's going to be Tayshawn Gary, I believe, number 3. Or is it? Yeah, that is 3, isn't it? Yep. So Gary does pretty good. He gets 5 yards on that play, so makes it 3rd down and 5.
Puts them back in a manageable situation here on 3rd down. He got a really good block on the outside. And puts them back to where they've got an opportunity to make this 1st down, keep football.
Okay, the freshman quarterback Strand goes under center, and he'll hand it on the sweep. Yep, to the right, across the midfield into the Tigers' side. Again, that's going to be Tayshawn Gary carrying the ball, spotting it now at the 49. The officials do, and that'll make it 1st down.
Gary there, not a big back, about 5'9", 180 out of El Paso, but good speed. And they like to pitch it to him on the outside and run him on the jet sweep like they just did there and try to get him out in space.
In motion out of the slot. And here's Strand rolling right. He lets it go down the field into coverage. And it is almost intercepted, but is not. The ball is lying on the ground, bouncing around right now as the players come up out of that. And the intended receiver, I believe, was, what, 21?
Well, I think that was trying to get it to Johnson. And it's underthrown there, and the offensive player had to become the defensive player, and it looked like he may have committed interference. They didn't get the call, but it was very close. Brings up 2nd and long here.
At the 49-yard line. And there's the handoff to Tayshawn Gary. Gary's up the field. He is off to the races. He's going to be knocked out of bounds, though, at the 30. 33, 35?
Yeah, we're going to have a hold out there on the edge, I believe, Joe. We go back here and look at it. Jet sweep action again. Got a lead blocker out there. And looks like they going to get them with, I believe, a hold.
Well, that's what the ref, Andy Dunklin, just said. 10-yard penalty, remains first down. Correction, second down. But it'll cost them 10, so they'll take it back to the 41 or 43. How about the 41?
When you're a run-heavy triple option team, you've got to make every play count, Joe, and the holes kill you. You just can't have them.
Second down and 19
you
now.
Get back second and 19, it just makes it tough and with their style of play to ever make a first down.
Okay, here's Strand. He's going to swap some people around. He's overloaded. He's got the formation overloaded to the right. Now they switch it back to an even look. And here comes a man through, and the fullback gets the ball this time, Kamal Cass. And Kamal Cass is stopped. Forward progress goes back to the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much it. So third down and 19 coming up for the Greyhounds.
And Josh Delgado, linebacker out of Derby, Kansas. Alex Schmidberger out of Topeka. Both of them very good tacklers. Schmidberger's third in the country. Delgado's fifth in the country. And those guys make a lot of tackles in the interior part of the defense.
And the snap, it's a draw play, this time to Kamal Cass. And Cass is trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and he does not. He picks up about 8 yards. So it'll be 4th and 11, Kirk, in midfield.
Yeah, Tanner Hookman comes up there and makes a really good open field tackle on the draw play there to Cass. Going to bring out the punter.
Ryler Bacon is the deep receiver. He's standing back around his own 15-yard line. Now, when the punter gets this ball up in the air, it's going to sail with that wind coming in like it is.
Yep.
And here's the... Well, there was a flinch on the left guard, but he got reset. Here's the snap. It's low, but the soccer-style kick or rugby kick is going to be taken at the 17-yard line by Bacon. Bacon's coming to the right to the 40, to the 45, and down. He slammed at the 47-yard line.
Joe, unfortunately, we're going to get a penalty here, actually two. But we're going to get a block in the back at about the 25, and then we're going to get probably a personal foul here at the end. I wasn't sure. Didn't see who that was on, but
well, Beth sold stop for the Greyhounds, but your call here. We got 6 officials. There's 8 officials on the field. We got 6 guys involved in this discussion right now. Let's wait for the call from the ref. He just turned his mic off. So let's see. Maybe they're not really lined up on what they want to do here. But there are flags on the field down the other direction. Holding is the call against Ft.Hays State. And then unsportsmanlike against Eastern New Mexico. So now what happens, Kirk?
Well, what they're going to do is they're going to mark 10 back that way and 15 back this way. And if they just start where he's at, he turn around and walk 5 yards, we can start playing. That's what I think. Let's see if that's not what happens.
Okay, so 10 yards. Yeah. There's 10 that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just should have turned around like we said, just walk 5. I could have saved him some steps.
Okay, so is that the end of it right there?
That's it.
Okay, to the 31-yard line. And here comes the Ft.Hays State offense out. Wide to the left side will go Lane Biberly. In the slot left is Balal Salat. And Macera's the quarterback. He's moving the tight end around in the backfield. And this time it's going to be just basically a straight ahead pop to Kenneth Ihim, senior from Wichita, Kansas.
Really good quick move there in the middle by Ihim, and a good block by Romello Burke, the center.
4-yard pickup, second down and 6. Two receivers right, one guy left. Macera now hands it off to the guy that was standing right alongside of him. And busting for yardage is Shaquille Cooper. Cooper is on his way to the house. He's got reservations for 6. It is a Tiger touchdown.
Great blocking and a great run there by Cooper. He's got a different gear than everybody else. And when you're that fast, you can wear yellow shoes and yellow socks.
So that makes it 13-0 with 4:08 left to play.
Get a little delay to Cooper. Good blocking up front there by number 33, Matt Wendelberger. And then once he gets out in the clear, you're not going to catch him. He's the cousin of Frank Gore, the Indianapolis running back from Indianapolis. Used to play for the 49ers and played college ball at the University of Miami. So he's got the right bloodlines.
And there's the kick. It's up high. Up high over the goalpost. That's going to make it 14-0. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico University. We'll be right back with the Tigers kickoff in a moment here on ESPN3.
Eastern New Mexico University is known as the pride of the land of enchantment. USA Today named ENMU among the 5 best bargains in the nation. With 75 majors, we offer online and on-campus courses in the most popular majors. You'll enjoy a great social life with students from around the world, and we also offer generous scholarships and financial aid. Become a part of our family by visiting enmu.edu. ENMU and student success, that's what it's all about.
Howdy, folks. I'm Lee Hoffbauer at Hoffbauer Chevy, Buick, and Cadillac right here in Lampasas, Texas. Well, we've got the best selection of brand new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Folks, Hoffbauer's has great pricing, and GM has huge incentives. So come see us today or check us out on the web at hautogroup.com. That's H is in Hoffbauer, autogroup.com. Better yet, just come see us. Hoffbauer's in Lampasas for 51 years now, and we couldn't have stuck around this long if we were steering you wrong.
Champs, Communities Helping Americans Mature, Progress, and Succeed is an organization devoted to our school children. Through concerts and assembly programs, the Champs message of anti-bullying and living a drug and alcohol-free lifestyle gets out to our students from grades 4 through 12. Contact Champs at 254-394-1146 and be a part of the team. To switch to the field right now and watch our kickoff coming up here from the Ft.Hays State Tigers. They're going to be going deep this time. Getting set to kick it away is Brandon Brow. And the same guy is back deep on this one for the Greyhounds. It'll be Tashawn Gary, Kamal Cass. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter. 14-0 already. Ft.Hays State is your leader on the scoreboard.
Ft.Hays State has hit 2 big ones, the run and then the long pass to Byberly early.
There's the kickoff, but the wind holds it up. It'll come down at the 10-yard line. And there was the receiver on the far side, by the way, Tyshawn Gary, that made the catch and brings it back to the 25-yard line.
Looks like we've got a penalty flag down at about the 21, Joe, and it looks like we're either going to get a hold or a block in the back.
Block in the back is, it's holding though, but a block in the back is what you see more often, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But half the distance to the goal puts the ball back at the 11-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 now at that point from Eastern New Mexico. They're down 2 touchdowns, and they've got a long way to go, 89 yards.
Yeah, the holding penalty really ruined their drive on the last series before that. Had the fumble, so they need to put something together and go down and try to get into the end zone here, Joe, to keep this ball game close.
Strand pitches it out as coming to the left and then getting caught before he can really get even back to the line of scrimmage. Is Cass on the carry. Kamal Cass.
Really good job that time by Justin McPhail of getting him turned back inside, and then C. Doe, number 8, the defensive end, who, Joe, is probably one of the finest defensive players in Division II. He's got 15 sacks on the year. He's not big, but his motor runs all the time. A great football player.
They'll send a guy in motion. Now they'll try it with Cass again, and there's nothing going on. Flag comes in from the center judge, who is offset from the football. He can see everything going on inside from the center to the left. And the ref says, clipping. You don't see that much. You don't really see that call made anymore to speak of.
Yeah, they're going to decline that, though, and put them in 3rd and long. That's not a – 3rd and long is not what Eastern New Mexico is looking for. They need to stay ahead of the change. You get them in 3rd and long, they're going to have problems.
3rd and 8's the call right now, the call to make for the Eastern New Mexico offensive coaches. They're going to split a guy out to the left, 2 guys out to the right. Going upstairs probably. Wyatt Strand, the quarterback, fades to his right, looking upfield, lets it go. It is completed at the 22-yard line, and that's close. In fact, he may
really
have
close
it.
to a first down. I think he's going to have it.
At the 24-yard line is where the ball is marked.
Sprint out. To Aaron Johnson, drives his man off and then comes back for the football. Really good play there, and a big play, important play for Eastern New Mexico to keep them on the field.
So one wide man is split to the left this time, and he draws double coverage out here. So Strand goes under center.
Oh, we got guys going.
Yeah, this is not Canadian football, boys. No. Can't do that.
First thing, you don't want to do it because you might run together back there and knock each other out. The second thing, you don't want to do it because it's against the rules.
That's exactly right. What we had, folks, in case you missed it, we had the 2 wingbacks take off in motion at the same time. And nope, not allowed. Illegal shift is the call against the Greyhounds. That'll cost them 5, and it's back to the original line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10. No, correction, 1st and 10.
I think it'll be 1st and 15.
Okay.
They're not getting those chains moved fast enough to suit you.
No, not to suit me. And the referee winds the clock. 2:25 left to play in the first period. One man in motion. Back to pass is Strand. Oh, he just let this thing go. It's almost completed. Oh, my goodness. Just barely missed him. The intended receiver, Connor Shadid. No, wait a minute.
Aaron
11.
Johnson, I believe.
Yeah, Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, let's look
11.
at this. I thought he threw a really good football here, and right at the last minute, he just didn't really adjust to it. And I don't know if the wind caught it and pushed it away from him, but I thought they had a big play dialed up right there.
So 2nd down and 15, again at the 18-yard line. 3 receivers out, 2 to the left. And here's the handoff to Cass, the fullback. He cuts to his left. He's got some room. He's going to go out of bounds. Oh, he's hit hard at the 35, 36-yard line, right in front of the Ft.Hays State bench. But that'll move the sticks, Kirk. It's going to be another first down for the Greyhounds.
It is. They caught him with a draw play right here, Joe. You can tell him very good blocking up front, and then Cass gets outside and makes a nice gain there and moves the sticks again.
So first down for Eastern New Mexico at their own 35-yard line with 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Left halfback goes in motion. They'll keep it with Cass, and Cass is fighting for more yards up to the 38-yard line. And a couple of guys just stayed together all the way till after the play was over. I mean, you know, if you see the runner go by you and he's down, why do you sit there and chicken fight? I don't understand that.
Maybe you didn't hear the whistle.
Maybe not. Okay, it's going to be 2nd down and 6. 2nd and 6 now for the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico at their own 37-yard line. Trying to keep the wind at their back if they can. Here's the pitch, and good yardage that time for Darrell Wiggins. Wiggins is stopped.
I'll tell you what, Joe, we're going to see a shot right here at the end of the play. See him, he cuts up, gets some good blocking, and then right there at the end, that is number 6, Doyen Jabawu, and he laid the wood to him.
And here's the option going to the right side. Same guy carrying the ball, and he is brought down on this one by Jacoby Williams. That was, again, number 21, Darrell Wiggins, carrying the ball. So spotted now at the 45, I think. No, 47. 37 ticks left in the first quarter. Now here's the deal. At the end of this first period, Eastern New Mexico will have the wind in their face, not at their back.
I don't know how much that's going to bother them, but it is important to note that Ft.Hays has scored 2 touchdowns into a pretty substantial wind, and they're fixing to have it at their back, and they throw it a lot more, and that will be something interesting to watch.
Now here's the pitch, and still on his feet is the Eastern New Mexico running back. And coming up out of there, everybody's okay. The tackle was made, I can tell you that, by Nathan Shepard.
Paul Terry out of Canyon Randall here that really makes a good run here. And that triple option and the option stuff for Eastern New Mexico is starting to work.
And that'll wrap it up. That's it, Kirk. That's the end of the first quarter here at Bulldog Stadium with Ft.Hays State's Tigers leading the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds 14-0 in the NCAA Division II section of the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. We'll be right back on ESPN3. And we are set to start the second quarter of action here at Bulldog Stadium. It's the NCAA Division II part of our Champs Heart of Texas Bowl 16. That's right, Hot Bowl 16. 14-0 our score. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico. But Kirk, the Greyhounds are on a drive now.
They are. The option is starting to work for them. And of course, Ft.Hays in the first quarter there was benefited off of 2 really big plays, a long pass, and then that great run by Shaquille Cooper. Eastern New Mexico's driving down here and looks like they're going to answer.
Wyatt Strand is the quarterback, and he'll give it to Kamal Cass, who is the fullback and leading rusher, without a doubt, for this Eastern New Mexico team, and he's got it to the 20-yard line.
Good play there on first down, puts them in 2nd and 5. That's the kind of plays that they want to have. Alex Schmidberger comes in there, makes a really good tackle on Cass.
Okay, the offense is lined up, double wing. That's what they open up in every time they come out. And here's the quarterback, Strand, optioning off again and cutting upfield and then going out of bounds almost immediately as the ball carrier. That would be number 21, by the way, Darrell Wiggins again. Flag down.
We're going to get a hold here on the left tackle. I believe that he kind of wrapped him up, and I think that that's what the call is going to be. Let's see what Andy Dunklin tells us.
It is holding against defense.
Well, I didn't see that one coming. I was thinking it was holding on the Greyhounds, but.
Well, the Greyhounds have it now. It's 1st and 5, is it? Or 2nd and 5?
It's going to be first and
they haven't moved
10 from about the 11-yard line, I believe. Let's see what we get here.
We have to wait for the line judge to make to tell
I think he's got a slide rule out there, Joe, that he's using to factor these penalties.
I don't know what it is, but
1st and goal from the 8. Let's try that.
Okay, so that's why the sticks
maybe
haven't moved. Okay, we got it.
Yep.
Setting them up now. Split backfield, and a timeout is called. Well, the clock is stopped at any rate. Now they're making a move back.
Well, I just don't think they had the spot right.
Well, Strand has a split backfield on this call, and he gives it away to Wiggins again, I do believe.
No,
that is
I
Wiggins.
think he kept that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Well, he was
he
a great
kept that
then.
It was. He kept that and got down to about the 2, it looks like, Joe. As you can see here, very good. He bellies the ball to Cass and then pulls it and gets behind the blockers and a little bit of power football.
So it'll be 2nd and goal at the 2. Ft.Hays State fans setting up a racket here on the near side. And the handoff goes to Kamal Cass, and
he is into the end zone.
Well, but there's been no signal yet.
Nope, they're going to spot him at about the 1-foot line.
So it'll be 3rd and goal for the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds. And they lined up in a hurry. Strand tries the quarterback sneak.
I don't think he's going to get in.
No, he is not in. He is not in.
Have to unpile them to see where they're at, but.
Well, the 2 outside officials, the line judge and the field judge, are right in there in the middle of the stack to find out where the football is. But you have to be able to see the ball when it goes across. I mean, you have to, any part of the football that touches that invisible plane there above the goal line, that's 6.
That'll be 4th down at about the.
Now 1 official, now 2 officials are calling timeout.
I mean, it's as close as you can get without scoring, Joe. It looks like it's on about the 3-inch line.
Now they've wound the clock again. Strand is going for it on 4th down. There goes a man in motion, and the handoff is.
He's in there.
Yeah, it's a touchdown this time.
Handed to Cass over the left side there, and they just powered into the end zone.
Kamal Cass scores officially a 1-yard touchdown for the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds, with their try for points still to come. Golly, that was I don't want to say a comedy, but that was just one of those deals where the defense stopped him from the 1-foot line twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's Bailey Hale trying to add that 7th point on. Snap, hold, kick, it's blocked. Now, if they return it for 2 points, they can do that, and here comes the man with the football. And no, he will not. He will be dropped at the goal line. All right, so 13-13 on the clock, and the Ft.Hays State Tigers are still in the lead. They've got the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds 14-6. We'll be right back with the Greyhounds kickoff in a moment on ESPN 3. Okay, getting set to watch the kickoff now from Bailey Hale of the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds. Back to receive this kickoff, which is going into the wind, will be Shaquille Cooper for Ft.Hays State on the near side. And across the way from him, number 21, DeAndre James.
Joe, I don't know about you, but I think I might rather kick it up on top of the press box and kick it to Cooper.
Well, let's see what happens.
He's got 3 carries in the game, but he's got 86 yards on 3 carries, so he's going at about 29 yards at a clip right now. So.
Okay, we're back at it. And looky here, number 21, DeAndre James, may take this one to the house. He does. Goodness gracious. What a return for DeAndre James on the kickoff from Eastern New Mexico. Did you catch where he fielded the ball?
I think he was around the 10. I wasn't sure. But I bet next time they will kick it up on top of the press box.
Okay, let's watch the replay here. There's the kick. It's high at about the 11, wasn't it?
Right.
So
it's a good block. He got a great block from Shaquille Cooper there that kind of cleared him, and he just outran everybody the rest of the way.
So we're going to credit him with an 89-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And there's the boot with the wind behind him by Brandon Brow. And that'll make it a 21-6 ball game. 13:01 left to play here in the first half. So go ahead.
I tell you, another big play. Let's take another look at this kickoff return. Whoops.
Well, that's an old play there.
I think they're testing us, Joe.
No, they must be. But that's okay. It's only TV.
I'll tell you what, the folks, there's not a whole lot of folks from Ft.Hays that came down, but they are vocal. And look at the block here from Cooper. Good block. He's not just a runner. And then James just outruns everybody to the end zone. That is another big play. That's 3 big plays in the ball game. Long pass to Biberly, then the run by Cooper, and then the kickoff return there. Just when it looked like Eastern New Mexico's really starting to get going and get back in the football game, pound. Here you go. Great block and off to the races.
Okay. Brandon Browse getting set to tee up the ball at his own 35-yard line. So Gary and Cass will go back to receive the kickoff for Eastern New Mexico University. Greyhounds versus Tigers, dogs and cats. The fight continues here at Bulldog Stadium tonight with Ft.Hays, the Cats, in the lead this time as the Tigers have a 21-6 advantage over these Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds. Brandon Brown gets the okay from the referee. And there's the boot. He's got the north wind behind him, and this one will take the inside guy, and that would be Tayshawn Gary about 3 yards deep in the end zone. He makes the catch, goes to a knee. It's a touchback. So let's bring it on out right now and set it up at the 25-yard line and go from there as the touchback puts the Greyhounds 75 yards away from pay dirt. 21-6 is our score. In case you're just now tuning us in here on ESPN3, I'm Joe Lombardi along with Kirk Whitehead, and it's our pleasure and our privilege to bring you this Division II NCAA bowl game between Eastern New Mexico University and Ft.Hays State University. And the snap, it's going to be a play action. No, it's going to be, yes, it's going to be an option. Ball's on the ground, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Greyhounds, though.
Going to be a loss probably of about 3 yards on the play. And let's take a look here. A little counter option look. Strand gets out there and he just pitches it a little too far out in front of Gary and puts him in a, I don't know, I think they call that as a forward pass, but that was definitely
that was a lateral if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's all moot because the officials have said that's the way it's going to be. Well, here's the jet sweep once again as the Greyhounds will try that with Johnny Smith. He's knocked out of bounds pretty fast, though, by Nathan Shepard.
That gets them back up into a position where they've got a good opportunity to convert here on 3rd and 2. Good run there by Smith. They've had a lot of luck with that jet sweep so far in the ball game, Joe.
3rd down and 2 at the 32-yard line. Wyatt Strand goes under center, puts a man in motion. It's the guy that just carried the ball. Johnny Smith has got it. He's upfield, almost to the midfield stripe. And the official is going to mark him out of bounds over at the 46-yard line across the way from us. They'll bring it into the far hash mark.
Jet sweep again, Joe. The same play to the other side, and they're getting the edge on them and getting around the corner and make a real nice play. Josh Delgado's got to run him down there, but not after he picks up 12, 14 yards and a first down.
It is 1st and 10 now at the 47. Here comes Smith in motion off the wing. They'll go to Cass. Kamal Cass is, well, you know that the Ft.Hays State Tigers, going to be watching for number 14 on every snap. And that time, Cass picks up a couple, maybe 3. Nathan Shepard, one of those big old kids, is there on the play. Shepard's 6'4", 295 pounder from Ajax, Ontario, Canada.
Have you ever been there, Joe?
Never have.
Me either.
Never been to Ajax. I've been to Toronto once. But here's the pitch, and they're going to try to get Smith outside again, and Smith is going to be tangled up at the original line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss on that play. And you can give the tackle to Sheldon Schmidt, number 92.
Ft.Hays does a really good job of getting the edge set on the outside, not giving them a corner like they had the last couple of plays that they ran outside.
No, you know, the guy from Ontario, you know, this weather's got to be fine for him. Okay, Wendell Strand chased out of the pocket. He's gone left. He's still got the football. And after all that running across the field one way, across the field the other way, he's going to be brought down at the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th and 10. Came this way, went that way.
I'm going to give him a 3-inch gain on that.
Okay.
Ran 62 yards to make 3 inches.
So 4th down, 9 3/4 yards needed for the first down. Back to receive the punt is Ryler Bacon. And getting set to kick it away is Hale. Snap's good. Again, oh, now this time he's got one of those rugby kicks, and it's going low. And it's picked up by one of the short men. Oh, that'll be number 9, Lane Biberly.
That is a really good play there, Joe, because that ball was going to roll another 15 or 20 yards. He picks it up, gets 5 yards, but it really saved him about 15. And that puts him in pretty good field position here at the 30 with about 10 minutes left in the second quarter, up 21-6. You think if they can go down and score, they're going to really like the position that they put themselves in.
Okay, let's see what's going on with the defense now from the Greyhounds. They're setting up 1, 2, 3 guys, 4 guys down, so it's 4-3 look. And quick handoff to the tailback. Not going to get much. And ball carriers Kenneth Iheme, number 3, with 10 minutes to play.
Really good play there for the Greyhounds by number 51, Michael Dunlap, a 220-pounder out of Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Fights off the block and makes the play.
Here's Jacob Mazzara at the controls again. Almost bobbled it, and the handoff to the tailback again, and again, that is Iheme, and it is going backwards. That's the only place it's going to go.
Really a great play that time by Brad Harden for Eastern New Mexico. He is a first-team all-conference linebacker out of the Lone Star Conference, leading tackler for Eastern New Mexico, and he really makes a great play there to put them into a 3rd and 10 situation.
Mazzara with an empty backfield. Now he calls Shaquille Cooper over to stand alongside of him. Cooper's going out for a pass. He's the guy they're targeting. He's got the pass at the 43-yard line. It'll be first down coming in right there for the Ft.Hays State Tigers. Bring it in, spotted at the 43-yard correction, the 44-yard line.
Cooper here just on a wheel route down the sideline. Mazzara does a great job of dropping it in there over his shoulder. hard to defend that, especially when you got a guy that can run like Cooper can.
Okay, they're in the Wildcat once again. Now they're going to swap out of it, and they're going to bring Mazzara back in to take the snap. And he does. He fakes once, pumps, lays it downfield, and oh my goodness, right in front of the intended receiver. Oh boy, that was Bilal Salat, and he just could not get up to the football and make the catch. That ball went, what, 45, 50 yards in the air.
Yeah, got a pretty good wind behind him, and he just overthrew him. They had Cooper down the seam, and they jumped him, and that left Salat open out there on the sideline.
Two receivers right, one guy comes left for the Tigers, and again the tight end is moving around in the backfield, and this time it'll be a straight handoff. Bouncing off of one tackle is Shaquille Cooper, and Cooper comes down and gets almost enough for a first down, but he'll be stopped at the 37-yard line.
Cooper got hit that time right at the line of scrimmage, Joe. Was able to spin around, keep his feet moving, broke another tackle, and then got up for a nice 8-yard gain. That's about as good a 7 or 8 yard gain as you're going to see.
Kenneth Iheem comes in to replace Cooper now in the backfield for the Tigers as the Greyhound defense deploys. Massera brings the tight end over, lines him up behind the tackle, hands it off to Iheem and to the 31-yard line, and a first down for the Ft.Hays State Tigers.
Just a little bit of power football right there. Give it to Iheem. He gets up through there. Todd comes up for Eastern New Mexico and makes a tackle that may have saved a touchdown, because if he doesn't get there, I'm afraid that Iheem is off to the races.
Brad Schenker is the quarterback on the sideline with a headset on that calls the plays in to Massera. And he's just told him to line up 2 backs and 3 receivers and roll to his left. And he threw a dart at the 20-yard line. It's completed to Lane Biberly. Another first down, looks like. If they move the sticks, it will be. I don't see a flag anywhere, but now I see a zebra conference across the way.
Yeah, we've got one right in the middle of the field out there, Joe. I think we may get a holding call.
Might well be. Tigers are moving back away. No?
Nope, had a lineman downfield.
So that'll cost them 5. 7:35 left to play in the first quarter. Correction, the first half. Man, I've lost time there. 7:35 to play in the first half. It's still 21-6, Ft.Hays State over Eastern New Mexico.
I'll tell you what, I've been very impressed with Mazzara tonight, Joe. He has really been on target and sets in the pocket, takes what they give him. I can understand now why Coach Brown thought it was very important that he play in this game tonight, because he has really been sharp.
Here's the snap back to Massera. Massera now has to step out of the pocket because he's being chased by a lineman, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 36. So it's going to be second down and probably that same 15, and I don't think he made anything out of it.
I think he just got back to the line of scrimmage. Actually, he may have lost a yard.
Well, they're going to call it second down and 15, apparently.
Really good coverage down the field by the Greyhounds that time, Joe. They had everybody covered up, and he just had to run in there and get what he could get. Looks like we're going to be back in the Wildcat.
Okay, the man in charge of the Wildcat, obviously, is Charles Tigner, 23. Is Massera even out there right now?
He is split out to the right.
And now the officials have heard the Ft.Hays State coaching staff call for a timeout. So we will stop our coverage right here. We'll take this break with them. 6:38 left to play in the second quarter. Still 21-6, Ft.Hays State over Eastern New Mexico University. You're listening and watching to ESPN 3.
Family owned and operated for over 25 years, Hank's Tire Pros is a proud supporter of Copperas Cove. Hank's has ASE certified master technicians to make sure you're safe on the road. And that's not all. Hank's services brakes, belts, AC, and much more. Hank's Tire Pros nationwide warranty is honored at over 30,000 locations, so you're covered no matter where you go. And don't forget, we offer free roadside assistance for all customers. Hank's Tire Pros, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Copperas Cove High School has a long tradition of success in the football arena. The Bulldogs have been in the state playoffs 16 of the last 18 seasons and have a strong history of preparing players for the next level and beyond. Over the past 20 years, 13 former Bulldogs have played in the National Football League, the Canadian Football League, and NFL Europe. Many more have played collegiately. Copperas Cove Bulldog Football, a tradition of success on the gridiron and in the classroom. Here we go now, Kirk. It's going to be second down and about 16 for the Ft.Hays State Tigers.
Tell you, if Eastern New Mexico wants to get back in this, they really need to bow their necks right here.
And Macera has, oh boy, is there a flag? No.
I think it's going to be, whoop, going to get one coming in really late there. I sure thought that was incidental contact that they got their feet together there. And
Salat was going down for the pass. He was on a fly pattern right down the sideline, and Macera lofted the pass in there, but it fell over their heads, over the receiver and the defender's heads. And
there was a little bit of contact, and they're going to talk it over here, and hopefully we'll get this right.
Well, Salat did go down. So the question is, was he pushed down? Was he helped down? It is going to be interference, pass interference called against the Greyhounds of Eastern New Mexico.
Let's take a look at it here, Joe. He reached out and grabbed him.
Sure did. Put him on the ground. So that'll be a 15-yard penalty, first down. Now the question is about the football. Go from unsportsmanlike conduct now against the Greyhounds. So if that's a dead ball foul, you're looking at 15 plus 15, 30, but that's in this situation, I guess it'd be half the distance to the goal line, right?
Yeah. Could give him a first down at the 14-yard line.
Well, Coach Josh Lynn has just called out the officials over here on the, well, I say over here on the far side over there. He is giving the referee, Andy Dunklin, an earful. So I don't know if he's arguing the unsportsmanlike or arguing the pass interference.
Well, while he's got him there, he ought to argue them both.
Were you ever a coach? You seem to know how to do it.
Well, I've been over here and watched Coach Wells.
Oh.
He has a tendency to work the officials from time to time, doesn't he?
Nah, well, I better leave that one alone. I have to work here. But there's still a big conversation going on across the way. Coming up at halftime, we'll be talking to Kirk some more about the place where he works every day, Hoff Power Auto Group. And then head coach Jack Welch will be up here to chat with us about sports. And I think also our mayor, Frank Sefrud, may be up. And then, of course, we're also going to try to make time to get some minutes with Steve Crosby, who is alumnus of Ft.Hays State and then went on to play pro ball with the New York Giants, and he has been an NFL coach for several teams.
For a bunch of them. Coached for the Chargers and Dolphins, coached for Shula and Belichick when Belichick was at Cleveland. So it'll be interesting to talk to.
Yeah, he sure will. The stories he could tell. The handoff on this one is going to go to Shaquille Cooper. Cooper will not. They're finally going to blow the whistle on this as he was driving and driving and driving. Now we got somebody down in the backfield. He's having a hard time getting up, but he's all right. That's going to be Romello Burke, lineman from Sarasota, Florida, 6'2", 325.
I'll tell you one thing that I've noticed as I was preparing for the game. Ft.Hays gets players from all over the country. They get them out of Florida, California, Arizona. Got a kid from Canada. So their coaches are working hard and traveling the country and getting people come to Hays, Kansas to play football. And since Coach Brown has been there, they have really turned that program around and got it headed in the right direction.
Now, again, another discussion about the spot of the football. Now they wind the clock, so I guess everybody's happy with what's going on. Wildcat look once again. And here's Tigner. Flags again all over the place. I saw a rainbow come in from the umpire.
Yeah, gonna get a false start here.
Yep. So move it back 5 yards. Now it's going to be second and what, 10?
Be second and just about 11, I believe, Joe.
Football is spotted at the 12-yard line. Here's Macera now standing up right behind the center. Snap. Pass on the flat intended for the tight end, and he cannot make the catch. Intended receiver there was Matt Wendelberger. Matt's a freshman from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Not to be confused with Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
No. Sounds kind of the same, but ain't the same. Wide side split this time for the Tigers is number 9, Lane Biberly. They've got Silat out wide to the right. And Macera, again, working that tight end around. Macera throws it into the end zone. It is completed. It's a touchdown to Lane Biberly.
Tell you what, that was a really good throw there from Macera. And a really nice catch of Biberly going up and getting the football. We look here. Throws it on time, gets it out there, and Biberly just goes up over the defender. He had good coverage there. Just goes up over the defender and makes a great catch for the touchdown.
Yeah, the guy on the defense was Gary Tebow Moore, and he's disgusted with himself. I saw him just throw his hands down on his hips. Snap is back, kick is away, and it is plenty good for Brandon Brow. 5:28 to play in the first half. It's 28-6. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico University. We'll be right back with some more football for you here at the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl on ESPN3. And we're awaiting the kickoff now from Brandon Brow, the Ft.Hays State University Tigers, as they have forged a 28-6 lead over Eastern New Mexico. Back to receive near side is Tayshawn Gary. Across the way is 14 Kamal Cass. So Brow looks it over, gets the okay from the referee, Andy Dunklin. Here's the boot. Oh, man, look at that one, Kirk. That thing's going into the next county.
Yep. Kicked it about 8 yards deep in the end zone.
So that'll be a touchback, and the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds will have to come out and play it from the 25.
Very important drive for them. If they want to stay in the ball game, Joe, they need to go down here and get some points right before half and try to cut it back to a 2-touchdown advantage. Ft.Hays has come out in the first half and just played great football on both sides of the ball. Only one turnover, but Ft.Hays was able to take advantage of that. And there has really been a dominating performance by them so far in this ball game.
And they, as we mentioned before, they have not played Eastern New Mexico since 1979. That's the last time these two teams got together. And the Greyhounds have a 3-2-1 advantage in the series. And again, the quarterback is keeping the football and doing a real good job. Wyatt Strand, the freshman, and he's got it to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, just a good read by him. Pulls it out of Cass' belly, keeps it, goes around the end, makes a good run, puts him in second short yardage here, and a good start to the drive.
So 2nd and 1 at the 33. Cass gets the correction. Strand holds on to it again and comes up with a pretty good play to the left as he rolled out and around through there. On the stop that time for the Tigers, it was Wyatt Parker. So another first down for the Greyhounds at their own 42-yard line. They're lined up at the far hash mark. And I have lost the ball. Where's it?
Cass right up the middle for
Cass.
about 2 yards.
A lot of movement stuff on the right side. I could not tell where the ball had gone, but Cass with it, a 2-yard pickup. He's to the 43-yard line where it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Really good play in there in the interior of the line by Wyatt Parker for Ft.Hays. He's a 6'3", 250-pound sophomore from Blue Springs, Missouri.
2nd and 8 coming up at the 44. And Strand pitches back. And it's going to be down at the 50-yard line. Carrying the ball on that one was Johnny Smith. And Smith ridden to the ground there by Raheem Dumas.
Really good block out here on the edge by the fullback, getting out there and leading the way. Kamal Cass, good block on the cornerback and kind of freed him up to make the nice gain.
3rd and 2 at midfield. The football nose is parked right on the 50-yard line chalk. And again, the handoff goes to, okay, man, I tell you what, it's hard to keep track of these guys
he
like
kept it,
that.
Pitched it, and he dropped it, but he dropped it, and it rolled forward for about 5 yards, and he recovered it for a first down there, Johnny Smith.
Yeah, Johnny
on
Smith.
the recovery.
Yeah. Be so glad when these jerseys go back to where they're supposed to look so you can see what you got. But enough of that. It's first down now. First down at the Ft.Hays State 44-yard line. And again, Strand goes under center. Strand looks back to the coaches to see what they won't run, to see whether or not there's a play change. 3:15 to play in the half. And it's Cass this time, and Cass is bundled up just inside the 45-yard line, about the 43 maybe.
Good play there in the middle for the Tigers for number 96, Luke Wright. And it's been pretty tough sledding right up the gut for Cass tonight.
2nd down and 9 coming. Again, the ball almost to the near hash mark. 4-man front set up for the Tigers, and back to pass goes Strand. Strand tries to hit the receiver wide left. Stevens, I believe that was, Charles Stevens, and it'll be incomplete, so 3rd and 9 coming up. 3rd and 9. What is Strand going to pull out of his hat on this one? And, of course, the Ft.Hays State cheerleaders and the fans on this side are making a lot of racket, trying to get their defense to hold them down. Rolling out of the pocket, going to his left, throws back against his body. It is completed, but it's not going to be enough for a first down way over there.
But That is going to put him in a position, Joe. I think that was Aaron Johnson that made the catch, but it's going to put him in a position here where they can have a manageable distance on 4th down. And he did catch that. That was right on the ground, but he did a good job getting his hands underneath the football. And here's the draw to Cass.
Yep, Cass on the draw play.
He is, with second effort, going to get the first down.
He sure will, to the 32-yard line. And coming up out of the stack on the bottom edge of it is Wyatt Parker. We'll give him the tackle. 2:07 left to play in the first half.
Eastern New Mexico has all their timeouts left, so time won't be a problem for him.
Nope, Strand is back to pass.
And he's got a guy over the middle. And
did he get it? The officials are, well, they haven't made a dedication, an announcement yet.
We're going to have a penalty back here in the back, but I think that's going to be after the. I want to see this again here, Joe, when they show it, because I couldn't tell. I thought it bounced at first, but.
Okay, well,
Strand steps up, throws it over the middle. And he made that is Aaron Johnson. That was a great catch right there.
Fantastic catch.
Yeah. And we're going to get a penalty against Eastern New Mexico that's going to be marked off from where the ball was caught.
It's unsportsmanlike, 15 yards, so bring it from the 3 back to about the 18.
You're not going to see very many better catches than that one right there, Joe.
No,
that was a phenomenal catch.
Well, he had given up his body. I mean, he was laying prone. He was just flying through the air. There came the ball, and he made the catch. Now the ref is going to wind the clock. 1:50 left to play in the first half, and it's at the 18, 19-yard line for the Greyhounds. And as you said, they do have all 3 timeouts left. Wyatt Strand is going to... Oh, the ball's out. It's out, and it's going to be recovered back at the 33-yard line, but there was a flag come in there. I don't know if it's was it a false start or what was it?
I don't know. It's either going to be that or offsides, one or the other, I believe, Joe. Came out awful quick for it to be a holding call.
So if it's a 5-yard loss, they can deal with that worse than they could that loss. I mean, it's a 5-yard penalty. I mean, there was the loss was back to the 31. And again, it's a long, involved zebra discussion down here right now. Okay, Andy Dunklin's the referee. Let's see what he's got to say. Yeah, bad block below the waist. Chop block. And then offsides against the Tigers, so that's going to... They're going to
line
offset.
up, play it. We're going to line up, try it again.
Yeah, that's going to offset. So bring it back to the 19-yard line.
Tell you what, Eastern New Mexico got very lucky right there, Joe, because they were fixing to be way behind the chains, and that's not somewhere that they're comfortable operating from.
Okay, Wyatt Strand is the quarterback, goes under, double wing set, and pitches. And going to the left and trying to get around the corner and not doing much of it there. That was Paul Terry.
Yeah, DeAndre James comes up out of the secondary, makes a great play. Ft.Hays did a really good job that time of setting the edge, and then James ran him down from the secondary to make a good play there for about a 2 or 3 yard loss.
Well, now the Greyhounds have burned their first time out. They've got 2 left after this one is done, and with 1 minute and 16 seconds left to play in the first half and a 28-6 deficit, Eastern New Mexico needs to get something on the board. I mean, that's just the bottom line if they want to stay in this ball game, because their offense, and you've mentioned this many times tonight, but it's so true. The offense they run, they have to. They're not a catch-up team.
No,
they're not.
And you know, they don't like to be in second and long, third and long. Those are not good downs for them. But if I'm Josh Lynn and Wyatt Strand over there on that sideline, I'm going to be looking for number 11, Aaron Johnson, and try to get him to go up and make a play like he did down there on that catch a while ago. He's the guy I'd be looking for right here. He's a big, tall guy, and he can go up over people and make a play, and I'd take at least one shot with him here into the end zone.
2nd down and 13 for the Greyhounds at the 22-yard line in Ft.Hays territory. Strand under center. Strand hands it on the jet sweep, and here they come to the 20, inside to the 15, and down at the 14, I guess. But it's not going to be anywhere near a first down.
Well, it's going to put them in 3rd and about 7 And looked like they had a play, but Alex Schmidberger coming from his middle linebacker spot. There's a reason why he's the second leading tackler in the nation in Division II, and he runs that play down.
Terry was the ball carrier on that last play, by the way. Here's the pass thrown out into the Netherlands, or the hinterlands, or whatever you want to call it, between two eligible receivers and one defensive back all at one time.
Yeah, I don't know if the receiver didn't run the right route. It looked to me like he had him open, and he just missed him. So they're gonna have a decision here. Coach Lynn has got to make a decision here on 4th down whether he wants to go for a field goal, and it looks like that's what he's going to do, and try to get some points and maybe a little bit of momentum before they go into the half. It goes back to that penalty they got on the long play. That just killed them. You know, they had the ball down inside the 10-yard line, and they make a mistake back here and get a personal foul, and it's just a bad time for that to happen.
Bailey Hale's going to work it. It's a 33-yard try. Correction, 32-yard try. Snap is away. It kicks long enough. I think it went through. It did indeed.
It was a good-looking kick.
So 28-9 is our score with 41 seconds left to play here in the first half. 28-9. Eastern New Mexico trails by, well, 19 points. So they've still got a whole lot to work to do in the second half. They do get the ball first, though.
Yeah, they do, Joe. But they really needed 7 points there instead of 3.
I think you're right.
And you know, that is just that stop is something that just one more thing that's happened in the first half that Ft.Hays can hang their hat on. They've played a tremendous first half defensively and offensively, and getting, you know, if you're Coach Brown, you can go in at halftime and say, listen, guys, they drove it down there and we bowed our necks and stopped them and come out and you know, they've done a really good job here, made some big plays in the first half, and played really, really well on defense.
Well, one thing about it, you know, you can see the across the way, you can see the Eastern New Mexico cheerleading squad, and there's a lot of young women involved in that group, and they have not lost their spirit. There's not a real big, loud, spirited crowd from Portales here tonight, but they've done their best over there to keep them fired up. Same way with these cheerleaders over here from Ft.Hays State. It's a co-ed squad, but they have been right in the middle of the ball game all night long, trying to get the somewhat larger crowd that's here from Kansas, you know, involved in the game, making noise and getting behind the team.
I tell you, the people from Ft.Hays have been standing up the entire ball game. A lot of them have. This is only the second bowl game that they've ever played in, and these folks are excited and they're into the football game.
And there's the kickoff, and it's kind of a pooch-looking thing, taken way over on the far side by the sideline by J.J. Lewis. And J.J. is going to return that thing about almost 10 yards.
We're going to see what Coach Brown wants to do here. They've got 2 timeouts left in 38 seconds. Looks like we've got another penalty. No. Yeah,
no,
they marked it.
Yeah, let's spot the ball at
the
the 40-yard line.
we had an offside down here. So I tell you what, Joe, we didn't have many penalties in the first ball game this afternoon, but we're making up for it tonight.
Yeah, we sure are. Football's at the far hash mark now at the 40-yard line, going from right to left. To the near side comes Lane Biberly.
He's a guy that if you're Eastern New Mexico, you want to make sure you know where he's at, because he has hurt them in the first half, made the 2 touchdown catches and that long catch early in the ball game. It kind of got the party started for Ft.Hays.
Bilal Salat lined up wide right. Here's Mazzara and more whistles.
Going to have a false start here?
No, delay.
Delay, okay. Yeah. I started to say, I couldn't see what the back judge was doing, but I thought he was signaling a false start, and I thought to myself, well, what's he doing calling a false start?
Can't do it. I mean, he can, but the back judge is primary.
If he does it, he's probably going to make those guys up in front of him that's their job a little upset.
Well, the field judge's, the back judge's primary job is to watch the time. That's his thing. Here's a chunk out to the left side to Biberly. Biberly has got some moves. Look at him go. He's down at the 40-yard line, came to the sideline, cut back to the center of the field.
Really good throw there. That is just trying to get a drive started, throw an out pattern out here. Biberly makes the first guy miss, and when you do that and you got his speed, you know, you can make some things happen.
Here's Mazzara now. Mazzara fakes one way, lobs it left, and a catch is made there by Shaquille Cooper. He's going down the sideline. Did he step out? Did he step out?
Nope.
No. Well, or did they? Now the officials have not. Okay, we do have a signal, but there's one official up here, the line judge.
I don't think so. They're calling it a touchdown.
Okay, well, that works for me.
I didn't think he was going to stop. He almost got to O'Calley before he turned around.
Okay, so a 6-pointer for Ft.Hays with 13 seconds left to play. Golly, that's amazing. Okay, here we go now.
You get a good look there. He stayed in bounds, and I tell you, Joe, Coach Brown told me last night that he's had some of the NFL people looking at him for a couple of years, and you can see why. He is a dynamic football player.
Brandon Brown gets the extra point, knocks it through with 13 seconds left to play in the first half. It's 34-9. Ft.Hays leading Eastern New Mexico. All right, Kirk, you're Josh Lynn. You're the head coach of Eastern New Mexico. 13 ticks left. What are you going to tell your kids in the locker room?
Well, I tell them we're going to try to get away with putting 13 out there on defense in the second half and see if that works. Because, you know, if you're going to tackle Shaquille Cooper, you're going to have it looks like a bunch of folks out there. I'm telling you, he's just got a gear that nobody else in this game has.
And it's starting to get foggy just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Seriously, though, I think you go in and say, listen, guys, we got on a bus and drove down here from Portales, and we're going to play the entire football game, and we're going to come out and fight. And, you know, we've seen them do that before. They got behind Arkansas Tech last year, and they came up, stayed in the ball games, kept doing what they do on offense, didn't change a lot of things, and they got to where they were moving the football and made it respectable. So, you know, they're going to get the ball first in the second half. So, you know, you need to come out and get a score and get a stop. And, you know, they're not going to quit. We've seen them before when they got behind, and they're a well-coached and tough football team, and they're going to keep playing.
Okay, Brow's got it set up. 2 deep receivers this time, as I have been most of the evening, to Sean Gary near side, Kamal Cass to the far side. And Brandon Brow, the kickoff man for Ft.Hays State, is fixing to boot the ball off the 35-yard line. There it goes, flying high in the sky, going 2 yards deep in the end zone. They're coming out with it. Gary has the football to the 20. He's across the 25 to the 26-yard line. Yeah. And that'll be first down right there with 7 seconds. Look at the clock, 007.
Yeah, we need to go back here and look at this. I want to show the folks, in case they didn't see it the first time, there was a phenomenal hit here, a great block. As he starts to bring it out, you're going to see it up here right about the 20-yard line right there. That's football right there, Joe.
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, these guys from East New Mexico are not going to lay down.
No. They got a 1st and 10 now at their own 26-yard line with 7 seconds and 2 timeouts left. Actually, 3 timeouts left.
That was a great look from the guys with the camera, the end zone camera there, too, on that block.
Oh, it's just going to be a
Josh
kneel
says,
down.
let's go in and let's talk about it and regroup and come back.
And the zeros are showing on the scoreboard clock right now, so that'll wrap up the first half of our Chance Hot Bowl Division II game from the NCAA side of things. And it's Ft.Hays State 35, Eastern New Mexico 9. We'll have a lot more of halftime activities for you here in just a moment on ESPN 3.
One of those keys that we talked about, and they've overcome the deficiency that they had early in the year.
Okay, we just had the second half kickoff, and it goes 9 yards deep in the end zone and bounces all the way almost up to the Copperas Cove Bulldog track record board, which is on the fence back there. So it's going to be a touchback, obviously, and the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds have the football first here in the second half.
Big drive here for them, Joe. If they're going to get back in it, it's got to now down 35-9. They've got to make every series count.
Yes, sir. Being this far down, they sure do. But, you know, and you brought this up before. We saw them in the same boat last year, and they came back and got close.
Right.
Okay, first man through is the ball carrier. Fullback on that one, of course, is Kamal Cass of the Greyhounds, and Kamal didn't get anything.
I think that Wyatt Strand actually pulled that and kept it.
Oh,
and Josh Delgado wraps him up for no gain there. One thing we talked about before the game is the ability to control Kamal Cass. They try to make everything happen through the fullback, and those linebackers and the front guys for Ft.Hays have really done that. He's not really gotten loose like we've seen him in the past.
Aaron Johnson splits wide to the right side. And a motion man, and here's a pitch to the pitch man coming wide. And that's going to be Tayshawn Gary. Gary is run out of bounds near midfield by Raheem Dumas. But it's going to be enough for a first down and then some.
Little counter option look here. They take it to the fullback and spin back around, get a pitch here, and a really good block there, just enough to free him around the edge there, and a nice gain for the Greyhounds there.
At the 47-yard line, they're 1st and 10. And the quarterback, again, is a freshman, a redshirt freshman, I do believe. Wyatt Strand is his name.
Out of Logan, New Mexico.
And he's pitched it out again. Tayshawn Gary carries the ball, and he's brought down by Raheem Dumas, second play in a row. So they'll bring the ball into the hash mark, and that's another 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 at the Ft.Hays State 48-yard line.
Strand does a good job there on the triple option of reading it, getting it to the guy that is not covered, and making a good play there on first down, puts them at 2nd and 5. These are the kind of down and distances that they're looking for.
Okay, the man went, one man went in motion, but here's the pitch. Coming outside with the football on this one is Johnny Smith, and Smith again is just helped out of bounds by Rashad Dunnigan, but it'll be, is it a first down?
It's going to be awful close, and they're going to go ahead and give it to them and move the change, first down. Ran the counter option again that time, faked it to Cass over on the left side, came back, pitched it out there, and Smith does a good job cutting it up between 2 defenders for the first down.
Again, the triple wing look. Now, that was wild. Tayshawn Gary went in motion, stopped right behind the fullback, Cass, and goes back to the right wing. Now he's in motion again, and he gets the pitch, and he's going to try to go left. Upfield, he turns. He might have got 4 or 5 yards on that.
I think he's going to get about maybe a yard and a half. Raheem Dumas does a really good job of getting there. Right as he's turning up the field, you're going to see it. They pitch it back to Gary. Looks like he's going to get the edge, and then you see Dumas coming from the secondary and does a good job getting up there and running him out of bounds before he can really get going down the sideline.
2nd down and a long 8. 4 defensive front, and again, here's the quarterback. I lost my mind. Wyatt Strand on the carry, and Strand comes to the right. They stop the clock. Is there a whistle?
Yeah, I think we're going to get another chop block, Joe.
Could have.
I tell you, Ft.Hays did a really good job of defending the option right there. They took the quarterback away, then they took the pitch away, so they really didn't have anything to do there, but I think that we're going to.
And it is, as you said, Kurt, chop block.
All right.
So a chop block at the 39-yard line. That's going to cost them dearly. 12:31 left to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the march-off goes all the way back to the Eastern New Mexico 43-yard line.
15-yard penalty, and, you know, Joe, I know I probably sound like a broken record, but when you get in 2nd and this kind of distance here, this don't fit into anybody's playbook, but it's certainly not to an option offense. It's just, you know, it's almost time to run the punter out when you get put in a position like this.
2nd down and 25 coming up for the Greyhounds, dressed in green from head to foot. Strand under center. Again, a man pops off in motion. He lines up the screen to the left side, and, man, the Greyhounds were unable to get anything going on that as the Tiger defense just scrummed it.
Yeah, they try to get a screen set up here. They've got people out there, but number 25, Josh Delgado, a sophomore out of Derby, Kansas, does a good job of running that play down. Rashad Dunnigan was there. They just ran right through the guys that were supposed to block and knocked him probably for about a yard loss there. So just a tremendous play there by Delgado to get out there and snuff that out and get out there and make a play.
3rd and 23 is the call as the Greyhounds come up with it. It's going to be a pass. Strand puts it down at the 48-yard line, and the catch is made but it's going to be way short of the first down. That was Aaron Johnson who brought the ball in. So now we're going to see the punter come out, and that's Bailey Hale. Bailey does all the kicking for the Greyhounds. You hear one of the Tiger fans out here saying, "Watch the fake, watch the fake." Back deep to receive is Ryler Bacon. Hale now with a low snap, kicks it out. It's a low line drive, and that's the good point about those soccer kicks or rugby kicks. They, you know, if you get that right spin on them, they'll roll for a mile. And this time it's going to be whistled dead at the 13-yard line, so the Tigers of Ft.Hays State can start from way back in their own end.
That's right, Joe, and Hale does a really good job of keeping the ball down. The guy from Iowa Park, Texas, he might have kicked into the wind a few times in his career. So
you're probably
up there around Wichita Falls, they have a tendency to have a little bit of wind blowing from time to time.
Jacob Mazzara is the quarterback for Ft.Hays State.
He's had 10 out of 14, 176 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Really a fine performance by him. He's an impressive young quarterback, only a sophomore. And
hands it off to Shaquille Cooper, who's across the 15 to the 18.
He is so quick, Joe, when he decides to make, he made 2 people miss in the backfield, and it's almost unfair. You know, I mean, it's just phenomenal. He just stands there like he's not doing anything, shifts his feet a couple of times, and then he's up the field for a 5-yard gain when he should have lost 2.
Okay, twin receivers to the left side this time for the Tigers. The tight end goes in motion. They've got 3 guys out here on this side ready to catch the football. And the catch is made. The catch is made by Tigner, Charles Tigner. Brought down.
Good for a first down. Tigner, he's another guy that's got some really quick feet. They get it out there to him. They do the thing I've noticed about Ft.Hays in their screen game, the receivers do a really good job of blocking the cornerback and the safety and the outside linebackers down the field, and that's what makes those plays go.
Tigner in motion. He gets it on the jet sweep, going right, cutting upfield to the 30. Oh, he got banged at the 30-yard line, Kirk. I mean, somebody really cranked him.
That is Todd County there, comes up for the we're going to take a look at this, but it looks like Cooper's going to get him blocked. County, one of the better players, fights off the block and comes up and makes a great open field tackle on a guy that's got some moves that can run. Really good play there by the sophomore out of Albuquerque.
Salat split wide at this time. Mazzara in the spread, and he'll hand it off again to Shaquille Cooper. Cooper comes left, cuts back inside because there's nothing open on the outside. He goes down at the 36-yard line.
We need to go back and take a look at this one, Joe. Just a phenomenal move, and you know, it looks like they're going to get him. They're right there, and they never even touch him. I mean, he's so quick and elusive that it's fun to watch him. Here you go. Let's take a look at this right here. It looks like they've got him dead to rights. So we're not going to be able to see it on that angle, but just a tremendous run.
3rd and 1, and the quarterback correction on the Wildcat situation. Tigner keeps the football, gets it to the 39-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Tigers.
Looks like Tigner a little slow getting up there, but really nice run there for the first down by him.
So 1st and 10 for the Ft.Hays State Tigers at the 37-yard line. 38, no, 39. I've got to where I cannot tell where the ball's going to be without watching the officials. I guess that's what they want. Well, here's the handoff, though, to Shaquille Cooper, and Shaquille is across the 40 to the 42-yard line, and he is brought down there by, looks like, number 94, Kenadre Hall.
Just a nice little dance for about a 2 or 3 yard gain. He even makes a run where he didn't make any yardage. You know, he made 2 yards, but he even makes those runs look, you know, he's just fun to watch.
Yes, he is. And you can find him because he's got on those bright yellow hose.
If I could run like that, I'd wear yellow shoes too.
And here's a pass intended on the near side, and the officials say no, it is incomplete.
Trying to get it to Biberly out there, and that's one of the only times they've gone to him tonight that it wasn't a big play.
DeAndre Saunders is the guy that was there on defense, and he was quick to wave his arms, giving the incomplete signal. 3rd down and 8. Big play here for both sides of the football.
Really good play there by Keandre Hall, the defensive end for Eastern New Mexico. The reason that ball was thrown low was because he's right in Mazzara's face.
Mazzara's going to send Cooper in motion. Pumps once. Now he's got a man down here. Oh, it's almost picked off. It just can't quite come down with it.
Yep.
Is number 20 of the Greyhounds, DeAndre Sanders. Oh, boy.
I tell you, I thought they really had a play there. They put Cooper in motion, and I think if Mazzara had this one back, he would have taken a little bit of the air out from under it. He hung it up there a little bit and gave the defensive back time to get over there, and really should have picked it. Tell you what, the fog is really blowing in here.
It is starting to get in here. It sure is. Okay, here's that rugby-style kick once again. And the catch is made at the 20-yard line. I'm surprised he didn't call for well, if he'd have let the ball go, though,
I bet he wishes that he would have called for a fair catch.
Yeah.
Now that
at the 20-yard line, let's take a timeout. 35-9, Ft.Hays leading Eastern New Mexico here on ESPN 3. And the fog rolls in to Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove, and the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds are backed up at their own 20-yard line, a place they don't really want to be. So they'll hand it off on what we used to call the crossbuck, and it's a good play going up the far sideline. I cannot tell who that is. It's just too far away, and the jerseys are too dark. Can you get a copy on that one?
I think that is Paul Terry, isn't it? 36, Paul Terry, yeah. Another good run for him. He's had a couple of really good runs in this game.
And there's a call against the Tigers, too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. I thought there was.
I'll tell you, that's the first time they've really ran that little counter action there, and they kind of caught Ft.Hays off guard.
Caught the play-by-play guy off guard, too. Okay, Wyatt Strand's the quarterback, and he's going to play action. He's going to try to throw it, but he's being chased all the way back to the 15-yard line.
And he's not going to get it back to the line of scrimmage either, Joe.
No.
So they're going to spot the ball back there at about the 12 or 13, most likely.
Well, it obviously didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, which was the 41. Intentional grounding is the call officially now by referee Andy Dunklin. Loss of down. Second down coming at the spot of the foul, which now puts the Greyhounds back at the 14-yard line. It'll be second down, and good gracious, how long? From the 15 to the 50, 35, 36, 37 yards, I think. Second and 37, because you lose the down, don't you? They haven't changed the down box yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a loss of down.
Well, anyway,
A little counter again. Good kick out block.
Yep.
But the guys from the secondary come up and fill the gap and bring him down. But take a look here. You're going to get a good kick out block by number 75, Rudy Guerrera.
Mm-hmm. Somebody came in a little late there, looked like, but
that looked like an old wing T play there, Joe.
Sure did. All right, here we go now with two receivers to the left and one guy to the right.
Third and long.
Third and 30, I guess. Back to pass, and being chased out of the pocket again is Wyatt Strand. This freshman has taken a beating tonight. A flag comes in at the end of it.
Ball's down. 2 penalty flags are down. And if you saw number 8, C. Doe Jr., coming from the backside, Joe, he's an interesting story. He was born in the Ivory Coast, and his mother and sister and him, when he was 12 years old, escaped the Ivory Coast to get away from a civil war over there, moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he grew up, lost his sister when he was in high school, and has found his way to Ft.Hays State, become one of the best defensive players in Division II football, and really everybody at Ft.Hays State brags about how fine a young man he is. But really a neat story there of how you wonder how a guy starts out in Ivory Coast and ends up in Hays, Kansas, but he did, and I think all those people at Hays are glad he's there.
Okay, now it's going to be first down, and rolling to his right again, and a flag count. This is going to be a hold. If the referee throws it, it's probably going to be a hold at the, was there a completion? It's holding.
Nope.
Like the man says, it's holding.
They're calling it incomplete, but it's not going to matter. We're going to get a hold over here. And, Joe, I think that's going to put us up somewhere around 16 or 17 penalties. I've kind of lost count. But they have had, and that's not a knock against the officials. I mean, they've just.
Well, you call it what you see.
Yep, that's right.
If you don't see it, you don't call it. You know, when I was officiating back in the mid-'70s, Kirk, you know, when it comes to pass interference, I always said that for me to call pass interference, it'd have to hit me right between the eyes. I mean, I'd have to see it, you know, and know it was there. But the other stuff, you could call holding on every play. I mean, let's face it, you can, because everybody does it. But Strand goes under center, and Strand keeps the football, and Strand cuts to his right. He might have got a yard or two out of that. Just not much doing up the middle of that defensive formation.
No, and, you know, we talked about that early in the game, that was going to be one of the key things. And Nathan Shepard and Luke Wright and those guys up front with those two good inside backers, Josh Delgado and Alex Schmidberger, they have really controlled the middle of the field. The yards that Eastern New Mexico has been able to make tonight have been around out on the perimeter.
Okay, so second down and 18. And again, well, here's the pitch to the right. Flags come in with the ball. It's going to be Tashawn Gary, and Gary's up to midfield and beyond. But probably another hold here against the Greyhounds. Everybody's walking back this way.
That run was good for a first down, Joe, but it looks like it is going to come back.
So at the end, it is. There's the referee, Andy Dunklin, indicating holding against Greyhounds.
Yeah, and tonight, every time they've had a good play early in the late in the first half, they get the super catch by Aaron Johnson, then get a penalty, get the run here. They've blown both feet off. They've shot themselves in both feet, and now they're working on the ankle.
You ought to be a disc jockey. You're good.
I don't think I can sit there that long.
Well, you've done well today, pretty much the same thing. Now let's see what we've got here. Gosh, look at this, Kirk. Second down and 10 miles.
Yeah, second and 30 again for the, they just got out of that with that penalty earlier.
And it's going to be another running play, and it's going to be nothing to it.
Yeah.
Back to the 21-yard line. That's about it. I saw the side judge come sprinting in there. I didn't know if he had a penalty or not, but no, not this time. Give the last tackle to number 50 right there, Wyatt Parker.
Yeah, Kamal Cass there on carry. He normally averages about 5.5, 6 yards a carry, and he's under 3 yards tonight. So they have really done a good job of keeping him bottled up there in the middle.
Cass is lined up at fullback behind the quarterback Strand, and he'll give it to Cass. Flag down. Across the 30-yard line, and it's going to go backwards again, I believe.
That is going to be either holding or maybe another chop block there. I'm not sure.
Well,
we're going to find out right now.
Yeah, let's find out from the ref.
Yep.
Chop block.
All right, we're going to take a look at it here. So I think you're going to see number 97, Nathan Shepard, right there. He's engaged, and they come down at his ankles, and that is if they want to use something to train the officials of what to look for in a chop block, that's the one they need to use.
Yeah, perfect explanation of it right there. Now, what's going on now, Kirk?
I don't know. They got the slide rule back out, I guess.
It's 4th down.
Oh, I guess they declined a penalty.
Okay.
Yeah, put them in 4th and long here.
4th and 18 looks like.
Yep.
And here comes the punting team out. There goes the receiving team out. Ryler Bacon back at the 35-yard line to catch the kick. And over here on this side, Bailey Hale lining up behind his trio of personal protectors. 35-9, folks. Nothing's changed on the scoreboard. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico. That was a low hike or a low snap, if you want to call it. And this ball does not do what it has been doing.
No.
Usually they've been bounding down the field, but it's out of bounds at the 45-yard line in Ft.Hays State territory.
Ft.Hays is going to be set up here in really good field position with about 4.5 minutes left in the third quarter, up 35-9. You go down and score right here, Joe, you're starting to put the nails in the top of the old coffin. And Mazzara's still in there.
Yeah, standing to his right is Kenneth Iheme.
Good, and a good running back in his own right.
Yeah, he's not real big. He's 5'8", 180.
No, good speed. And Cooper's not real big. He's 5'10", 190, but he's so fast and elusive that he's just hard to deal with. You couldn't tackle him in a phone booth.
No. We're going to have to write a book on this. Okay, here's the snap back to Massera. He's completed one to number 89, and that would be Isaiah Maxey, listed as a wide receiver, comes out of Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, and I think that's his first catch of the night. I don't remember us calling his name, but a really good throw there by Mazzara.
Line him up at the 45-yard line now in Eastern New Mexico territory. There goes motion across the formation. He'll stop in the right slot. And the handoff goes to, well, no, it's not to the main man this time. It'll be Kenneth Iheme. Iheme gets it down to about the 40-yard line.
Iheme does a good job there. This play's supposed to go right up the middle. Number 19 there does a good job of spilling it to the outside, but Iheme with his speed is able to get around there and make a good gain on first down, sets up 2nd and 5. And I tell you, Ft.Hays State does a really good job of keeping you off balance. You know, they come out, throw the ball a lot on first down, and then, you know.
And there's Iheme again going to the right. Did he get horse-collared?
I don't think so. I thought it, when I first saw it, Joe, I thought it might have been a face mask, but I think they had a hold of his jersey. Let's take a look at it right here. Good kick-out block there by number 33. Yeah, he had him by his jersey there. So. But Matt Wendelberger out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. 6'1", 250, tight end, does a good job. He's kind of an H-back type guy. They're going to send him in motion here. He'll go in motion, pull and kick.
And here's Mazzara.
Uh-oh.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Could not connect.
We're going to get a roughing the passer penalty back here, but believe. Right after he releases it, I think he takes a shot right in the chops. So.
Yep. Roughing the passer against the Greyhounds.
Yep. We'll give him a first down close to the, between the 20 and 22-yard line.
I was thinking we might see it again here on the replay.
Okay.
So we'll move it on downfield and just reset the ball and go back to play. It'll be another first down.
Joe, they got the ankle. Now they're working on the other ankle. We talk about shooting themselves in the foot. Well, they're working on the second ankle now. They just the penalties have just killed them tonight.
Okay, Shaquille Cooper's back in the game too. You think we might watch him? No. There was a pass intended there for Lane Biberly, but it was way over his head.
That's one of the few times tonight that Mazzara has been off target. He has really thrown the ball well. Just a sophomore, so, I think you look across there, Cooper's just a junior. You've got Ft.Hays. They're going to get good, stay good. They play in a really good conference up there, but this is a team that a lot of people, they're going to have to deal with them next year because they've got some real key contributors to their success coming back.
And Massera one-hops this one. Trying to hit Ryler Bacon, another one of the wide receivers.
They get that just a low throw there. But Wendelberger had moved out there and got a really good block, he was going to spring him.
Inside 3 minutes to play in the third quarter, and like I said a minute ago, nothing has changed on the scoreboard.
There's a guy that is got his parka on. He looks nice and warm there.
Yeah, with this fog settling down over us.
It's in the upper 40s, so it's really not that cold, but it sure looks cold out there with that fog blowing in through the stadium like it is.
Looks like a horror movie. And it might.
Nice throw right there.
Speaking of horror movies, the Greyhounds may be thinking of that right now with their situation. That was Ryler Bacon that made the catch on that one. It'll be 1st and 10, or will it be? Or is it first and goal?
First and 10 from about the 11.
Okay, so they can get a first down without scoring.
Mazzara, the two throws that he made before that were off target, but he's right back on the money with that one. Gets them down to the 11, sets up a first down here.
And Mazzara's back again, going to the corner of the end zone. That one's off target just completely. It was intended for Bilal Salat, but he was covered pretty close over there by, I believe it's Brad Harden, one of the linebackers. That's kind of a mismatch when you put a linebacker out on a wide receiver.
Yeah. Harden is a really good football player, though. He's probably between him and Todd County, they're the two top players on the defense for Eastern New Mexico. So he's a guy that can move out there and cover some of those guys.
Here's Mazzara. Cooper to his right, bringing a man in motion, and there's not going to be much there, except now he's gotten loose again, and that would be Tigner. That's right. Thanks to Peter Simpson for the help on that. I forgot the guy's name, Tigner. And he is pushed back 5 yards as they try the jet sweep going right that time. Kirk, and it didn't work.
No, they did a really good job of the outside backer coming up and setting the edge, and then Todd County coming up from his safety spot and cleaning it all up for the Greyhounds. Puts them in third and long here. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get it to the guy with the yellow shoes on.
Yellow socks too, but no, he stays in the block, and there's that same situation as he tried to go up to Lane Biberly, and Mazzara overshoots him again. Didn't overshoot him. I mean, the ball was there, but it was just too high.
Yeah, a little bit too high, a little too much mustard on it. So we're gonna get a look here at.
It's going to be Bryce Lyon. Is this Brow or Lyon? It is Brow with the kick attempt anyway. And the ball is it's going to be about a 32-yard attempt with the wind. He's got plenty of distance. Did he get it? No, sir. Off to the left. Okay, 1:41 left to play in the third quarter. 35-9. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico here at the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl on ESPN3.
Eastern New Mexico University is known as the pride of the land of enchantment. USA Today named ENMU among the 5 best bargains in the nation. With 75 majors, we offer online and on-campus courses in the most popular majors. You'll enjoy a great social life with students from around the world, and we also offer generous scholarships and financial aid. Become a part of our family by visiting enmu.edu. ENMU and student success, that's what it's all about.
Hoff-Power Ford wants to thank you for making this past year an amazing one by extending extra savings to you this holiday season. Stop by the store today at 902 North Key Avenue in Lampasas, Texas, and see our vast selection of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs specially priced for our year-end sales event. If you can't stop by, visit us online at hford.com to make sure you don't miss these deals. Once again, thank you from our family here at Hoff-Power Ford, and we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Champs, Communities Helping Americans Mature, Progress, and Succeed is an organization devoted to our school children. Through concerts and assembly programs, the Champs message of anti-bullying and living a drug and alcohol-free lifestyle gets out to our students from grades 4 through 12. Contact Champs at 254-394-1146 and be a part of the team. Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove, Texas, where the NCAA Division II section of our Champs Heart of Texas Bowl doubleheader is underway. As we still have 1:41 to go here in the third quarter, it's Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico 35-9. And the Greyhounds go on offense again, and here's the handoff up the gut. Once again, carrying the mail is Kamal Cass, and Kamal Cass does not get a whole lot of room offensively. He's to the 23-yard line. Second down coming up. Almost got a new defensive player in there for Ft.Hays State, but he has to come back. Don't want to break the huddle with 12 men on the field, that's for sure. Wyatt Strand is the Eastern New Mexico Greyhound quarterback. He keeps the ball, gets it across the 25-yard line, then runs into a white jerseyed wall, and the man coming up with the tackle on that one is Alex Schmidtberger, a senior from Topeka, 6'2", 220. And Kirk, you said that he is one of the 2 best linebackers in Division II ball.
He is one of the top tacklers in Division II football. Also, number 92 there, Sheldon Smith, also running down the line, making really good plays. So, but Schmidtberger came in and cleaned it up, and he is second-team all-conference player, a really good, fine football player, senior out of Topeka.
Under center now goes the quarterback, and he'll hand it off to the fullback again, and that is no doubt Kamal Cass.
And guess who made the tackle, Joe?
Schmidtberger?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered.
Yeah.
So now we got a big lad coming in, Nathan Shepard, the fellow from Ajax, Ontario, Canada, who is who originally signed with Simon Fraser University, which is one of the top Canadian football schools.
You know, I never thought about them playing. You don't hear much about their college football up there.
No. You hear some about the CFL.
Yeah.
Okay, another flag as a big play takes place with no time left. Okay, that's going to be an offensive penalty, so that'll be the end of the quarter, I believe. Now, you can't finish a quarter on a defensive penalty.
I don't think that we got to worry about that. I think that may be another chop block.
Well, let's
see. Take a look and see here.
Yeah.
They got number 50, Wyatt Parker there. He's been.
Okay, that's the end of the third quarter, boys and girls. Ft.Hays State leading Eastern New Mexico 35-9. We'll be back with more right here on ESPN3 after we change ends. Fourth quarter coming up.
Sam. All right, we are back here for the fourth quarter of the Division II NCAA game at the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. We missed a play there, and a good play for Eastern Mexico as they ran it out of their own end here. So they start the fourth quarter with a first down from the 44-yard line. Going to get a little counter play here to Paul Terry. He's going to get decent yardage up to about the 40-yard line. We haven't got him down yet. We'll go get a penalty here. We blew the whistle 3 or 4 times, and we'll see what when they shake it out, what happens. All right, that's going to go against Eastern New Mexico there. Another 15-yard penalty. And as we've talked about previously, they have really hurt themselves with the penalties tonight, always putting themselves in long yardage. And as we've said over and over again, that's not something you want to do when you're a flex bone offense relying on the run. So they'll set up here with second and about 22 to go here as we move 14:48 remaining in the fourth quarter. Ft.Hays 35, Eastern New Mexico 9. Wyatt Strand, the redshirt freshman from Logan, New Mexico, at quarterback. He is going to do a little play action. Going to go backside here to Aaron Johnson, and that ball is going to be caught there. Beautiful throw and catch down to about the 22-yard line. Set up a 1st and 10 there. And Johnson is definitely in the passing game. The guy that they look to as we look here, the little backside corner route. Strand throws a beautiful pass right over there. And Johnson is the only receiver that has caught a pass tonight for Eastern New Mexico. 1st and 10 from the 21. Flex bone. Gary goes in motion, handed up the middle to Kamal Cass. He's going to go down to about the 15-yard line. Stop made there by number 47, Justin McPhail, for Ft.Hays State. Bring up a 2nd and 4 at the 15 for the Greyhounds. Strand there dropped the snap, and we're going to get another penalty thrown by the umpire. And generally when that happens, it's not a good thing for the offense, Joe.
It sure isn't. Have you gotten the stats for the third quarter yet?
I haven't yet.
Well, I'm anxious to see those penalty numbers.
They're going to be off the chart, I'm afraid.
Okay, what we got here?
We're going to get
something against the Greyhounds.
Yeah, it's thrown by the umpire. I think we're going to see here. I think it was a hold, but I'm not sure. Let's take a look here and see if we can find out, see what happens.
Don't see another chalk block.
Yeah, I think it was Probably a hole there on the left guard.
Well, they're going to mark it back to the 30-yard line.
Well, it could have been a chop because it looked like a 15-yard penalty that was assessed. And
Okay, back to business. Strand's got the quarterback slot in hand, and he's going to play action, going to roll to his left because there's nothing downfield that way. Tuck it and go and be cranked at the 24-yard line.
we go back and look at this here. You see Junior Doe there, number 8. He comes all the way from the backside, and they talk about he's not a big guy, but he's quick. And you're going to see him. Here he comes, and he just turns it on and causes a fumble. He is number 2 in the country, I think, in fumbles caused. So he is a disruptive force on the defensive line for Ft.Hays State. 3rd and about 12 here.
2.5 minutes deep into the fourth quarter. And you're right, 3rd down and 12 for the Greyhounds at the 24. Another stoppage in play, and look at that. It looks like a flag convention down there. I see 2 of them on the ground anyway.
I think we're going to get a false start here against the Greyhounds. Going to back them up even further.
5-yard penalty. Just, you know, we mentioned a minute ago that officials only supposed to call what they see, and apparently they've seen a lot.
They've got good vision, and they're seeing a lot.
So 12:44, the clock is stopped. 12:44 to play in the fourth quarter. Ft.Hays stayed up 35-9. Now the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds are trying to work the ball in, but it seems like on every snap they get pushed back anywhere from 5 yards further on back. So let's see what happens this time. 3rd down and 17. Wyatt Strand's the quarterback, a freshman. Pumps once, then puts one over toward the corner of the end zone. It's over everybody's head. Coverage back there was by Raheem Dumas.
Really good coverage there by Dumas. They run a little double move out there and stop and go, and he keeps good position. That's why you're first team all conference in the Mid-American Intercollegiate Conference.
He was trying to hit Darrell Wiggins with the pass, but nada. 45-yard try here with the wind at his back for Bailey Hale. Sidewinder kicker like everybody is nowadays. I don't know of any straight-on kickers left. Here's Hale with the boot. Distance is good. Did he make it through? Yes, it's good. 35-12 is our score now. With 12:15 left to play in the fourth quarter, the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds tack on 3. Ft.Hays State in the lead. You're watching, that's right, college football on ESPN 3. Stadium in Copperas Cove, 35-12. The Ft.Hays Tigers, Ft.Hays State Tigers over Eastern New Mexico. Interesting sheet of stats we just got here, Kirk. What do you see?
Well, the first thing that jumps off the page is 11 penalties through the third quarter, 11 penalties against Eastern New Mexico for 123 yards. And I think they've had 2 already in the fourth quarter that are not on here. The other thing we talked about early in the ball game was third down conversions. One thing Ft.Hays needed to do was convert, and Joe, they're moving at a 70% clip right now, which is outstanding. And you know, the yards are pretty close, but Ft.Hays is taking advantage of their opportunities, and Eastern New Mexico really hasn't.
And Bailey Hale kicks it off 2 yards deep in the end zone to DeAndre James of Ft.Hays State. DeAndre took a heck of a lick at the 30-yard line, but he's up off the ground now. And the guy that hit him, number 17, Charles Stevens, got up. No, is that 17? Yes, it is 17. Stevens got up a little bit slower.
I tell you, Ft.Hays has got 2 really good kick returners in James and Cooper. And you put Cooper back there, and you're not going to kick to him, and you're not really doing yourself a favor by kicking over there to the other guy either. They're dangerous.
Well, the defense deploys, the offense deploys, and there's a bunch of boo birds out here for some reason in front of us in the Ft.Hays bleachers. I mean, they're way ahead. Here's Macera, and he hands off to Shaquille Cooper. Cooper has gosh, he almost got away and went backwards, but he's dropped at the 30-yard line, so no gain, no loss, no blood, no foul. 2nd and 10 coming.
Got to get the player down there for Eastern New Mexico.
Yes, there sure is.
Can't tell what number it is.
We'll check. We'll put the glasses on it and see if we can find out. But he is slow getting up. In fact, he's not up yet. I mean, he's moving around. Again, it might just be one of those deals with the wind knocked out. I hope that's all it is. Hope there's nothing else to it. He's
up there now.
Yeah, he's going to get up now. Okay, that's going to be Niami Tuafua. So he'll head back over to the huddle. Now he'll have to go out for a play, I think. Yeah, there he goes. Ball's at the 31-yard line, and the Tiger offense is moving from left to right across your television screen. Again, Macera and Cooper, the lone guys in the backfield. Cooper gets the call. Cooper gets through there. He's to the 40, 45, 50, 45, and out of bounds, I believe, right around the 40-yard line, but the officials will have to drag up behind that. We know they're going to say he went out at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, good blocking here, and once he gets through there, he's patient, but when he finds the hole, he is through it and gone before you can even get untracked.
And Todd County, the guy you've been singing his praises of all night, was the guy that pushed him out of bounds. At the 43-yard line, the Ft.Hays State Tigers have a first down, and they'll give it again to the main man, Shaquille Cooper, and he is still fighting inside the 35 to about the 32-yard line, and it'll be enough for a first down. Move the chains, says the head linesman.
Nothing fancy there, just good blocking up front and give it to the guy that's faster than everybody else, and that's a recipe for success.
Wide right splits this time. Al Silat. And ball, I don't think the quarterback knew what to do with it. Macera stands there with the ball in his hands. He's looking at it, Kirk. He's like, what is this?
Well, I think what happened is I think he bobbled the snap. It was a good snap, and he never really got a handle on it. I think he was trying to hand it to Cooper on a delay, and he just never got his hands on it. So when he did, it was too late, and he just dropped down to
save the ball.
Keep the football. So
second down and about 16. Back at the 39-yard line. So the Tigers now, Macera will take the snap. Ball is knocked down out of the ground. Is it a fumble or what is it? The ball is loose on the ground. People are fighting for it, running with it, dropping it again at the 35-yard line. And they're telling the chain crew to sit still. Hang on a minute. We're going to find out for sure.
I think it was a batted forward pass, but
that's what I thought.
Hard to tell, but they're trying to decide whether it was lateral or not.
Well, we got some Ft.Hays State fans right in front of us here trying to help the officials.
They're going to call it an incomplete pass. Joe, we'll go back probably here and take a look at that, but I really think they get this play right. He is at about the 45 when he throws it. Yeah, that's that was a close one.
Yeah, was it a lateral or not?
That was a close one.
Yeah, let's take another look. Well, there we can't see much from that angle.
He bats it down at about the 45-yard line, so it was really, really close.
So now it's going to be Ft.Hays State at the 39-yard line. And now Coach Josh, the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds, is trying to get an explanation. Basically, he's trying to sell his side of it to the referee, Andy Dunkling, trying to tell him that was a lateral.
You know, this is a game where we've got instant replay. I think that it's so close that it's one of those, it's not going to give you conclusive evidence. Even we don't have that here. But if we did, I don't think that they would overturn the call. But it was really, really close to whether that was a lateral or not. If you look at where the receiver was lined up, he was in front of the quarterback, but when the quarterback threw it, it looked like he threw it right down the yard line.
And so if it goes exactly parallel, is that a lateral or is that a forward pass?
I think it's got to be backwards for it to be a...
Okay. Well, I agree with you. Yeah, you're right. That's the rule. But again, Coach Josh Lynn of Eastern New Mexico University is not letting the officials get away without giving him a complete show on this, or him trying to get his point across. Got to be frustrating for that guy as much as he wants to win this game.
Yeah, I think, what is this, Joe, his third trip or
this
fourth
is his
trip?
third trip to this bowl game, yes, as a head coach. New Mexico Military Institute, he brought that junior college team here once, and then, of course, you were here last year with us, and then tonight. This is his third trip.
And I tell you, he has really done a super job at Eastern New Mexico. Now get a penalty. And I'm not sure if that was on the sideline or somebody said something out on the field, but he has done a fine job. They had a winning season in 7 years when he got there, and now they've had 3 or 4 winning seasons in a row. So he's turned that program around. He was an all-conference tight end there in the late 90s, so it's a guy, he bleeds green when you cut him open, so he's the right guy for that job.
Look at that big handoff, and look at that big run, and look at that big old touchdown for Kenneth Ahim.
Yep, same play that they had run a couple of times on this drive to Shaquille Cooper. Little kind of a quick hitter if you can have one of those out of the gun. Really good job of blocking. And when Ahim is a lot like Cooper. When he gets out in the open, he's going to outrun you.
And stepping up is Brandon Brow to try the extra point. Still haven't gotten there it goes. There's the scoreboard. It's set now 41-12 with a try for point to come. And we haven't given this guy any credit tonight. Aaron Gaither. Gaither is the holder. He's a wide receiver by trade, but he's going to hold right now for Brandon Brow. Snap, hold, kick.
Right down the middle.
It sure was. It gets up plenty high, too. So 42-12 is our score. Ft.Hays over ENMU. Back in a moment on ESPN3.
Family owned and operated for over 25 years, Hank's Tire Pros is a proud supporter of
Copper Cove. Hank's has ASE
certified master technicians to make sure
you're safe on the road. And that's not all. Hank's services brakes, belts, AC, and much more. Hanks Tire Pro's nationwide warranty is honored at over 30,000 locations, so you're covered no matter where you go. And don't forget, we offer free roadside assistance for all customers. Hanks Tire Pros, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Copperas Cove High School has a long tradition of success in the football arena. The Bulldogs have been in the state playoffs 16 of the last 18 seasons and have a strong history of preparing players for the next level and beyond. Over the past 20 years, 13 former Bulldogs have played in the National Football League, the Canadian Football League, and NFL Europe. Many more have played collegiately. Copperas Cove Bulldog Football, a tradition of success on the gridiron and in the classroom. 10 minutes, 8 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter of the NCAA Division II section of the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. Hot Bowl 16 this year. Ft.Hays just tacked on 7. That means they have a 42-12 lead. They're up by 30 over Eastern New Mexico University's Greyhounds. And here's Brandon Brown to kick off, and he puts this one high and short. It's a pooch. Fair catch. Ball's bobbled. Coming down with it, though, is number 22, Charles County. And it'll be set at the 36-yard line. That's where the Greyhounds have to go first and 10.
Tell you what, he kicked that one straight up in the air, and with that breeze blowing out of the north, it came straight down. And I thought he tried to fair catch it. Maybe the guy next to him tried to fair catch it, and he came in, and that's why there wasn't a penalty. But
well, yeah, you can't get penalized if your own man hits you.
yeah.
So now it's first and 10 for the Greyhounds at their 36-yard line, heading from right to left across your television screen or electronic device or whatever you're watching on tonight. And let's see now what Wyatt Strand can pull out of his hat. Sends a man in motion. Strand goes back to pass. Strand chased around. Flag on the play. Strand gets it up into the mid. Oh, it's intercepted and dropped. Oh, my goodness. Raheem Dumas is mad at himself.
I think we're going to get a holding penalty back here.
Yeah,
Joe.
Flag came in. It is another hold against the... Well, Kirk, I guess you see this more often with these run-oriented offenses, don't you, than you do with the guys that just stand up and pass block.
Yeah, that was against number 50, Wyatt Parker there. He just grabbed him and nearly pulled his jersey plumb off.
All right, set them up and go now from the 26-yard line.
First and 20.
It sure is. First and 20. Greyhound offense, and Wyatt Strand is going to pitch it out and going up the field, trying to get a little bit of room up and through there was Stevens, I believe, wasn't it? Charles Stevens, 17? Mm-hmm. Okay. No, 21 it was. Daryl Wiggins. Wiggins picks up about 7, so it's second and 13.
Really good lick laid on there at the end by number 11, Connor Steed. Sophomore out of Gretna, Nebraska.
In motion, and here's the inside handoff. And good blocking. I don't see any flags on that one either. Carrying the mail that time was Johnny Smith. He's to the 36-yard line. Now it's going to be third and 10.
Another good play there coming in from his linebacker position, Josh Delgado. One of the twin tackling machines in the middle there for Ft.Hays.
They've got a third and 10. Strand rolls out to his right. Saved his life there by getting a good block and another good block, and he's got to throw the ball downfield. And it's called incomplete. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, he just threw that one away.
Fourth down coming, and the punting team will hit the field. Back to receive is Ryler Bacon. That's what he's been doing every time the Greyhounds have punched the ball downfield. Bailey Hale stands in to do the kicking. 42-12. Ft.Hays leading Eastern New Mexico. 8:48, that is, left to go in the fourth quarter. Okay, now Hale directing traffic back there, getting things straight. And I believe the Tigers got a timeout called before the play developed.
I don't know if they did or if Eastern New Mexico did.
Okay, I don't know what the deal was on that, but anyway, there is a timeout on the field. That much is certain. 8:46 left to play in the fourth quarter, and again, in case you missed it a minute ago, it's Ft.Hays State's Tigers 42, Eastern New Mexico University's Greyhounds. Wait a minute. What is up with that scoreboard?
They're trying to trick you.
It says 12-3 Eastern New Mexico over Ft.Hays.
Well, if that's the case, Ft.Hays is going to have to.
42. Our producer Sam says, "Just read our screen, man.
Yeah,
That's the right
They've
one."
got it right down in the booth. And,
Okay, now the kids are coming back out to play. Thank you, Sam. We'll read your screen the rest of the night. Now, here we go. Getting set to kick out of there is Bailey Hale. Long snap count. There it is, and Hale takes a couple. What now?
Joe, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but we're going to get another penalty against Eastern New Mexico. They have a false start on a punt there, and that's just got to drive Coach Lynn crazy.
It's going to be 4th and 15 if you want to be completely by the book on this thing. They're going to move the football back to the 30-yard line, and it'll be 4th and 15. Of course, I mean, let's face facts here. You know, this is a college football game. You've got to call everything you see. You can't let nothing go.
And it was obvious. So here we're going to try it again.
All right, the center has warmed up his arm. Hale is back to kick. Here's the snap. It's low, 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 and he's got it out of there, though. Gets off that rugby-style kick, and it's taken on the fly by one of the short men, and he's going down the far sideline. Is he going to get back to the middle of the field and get some blocking? With the football, it is still number 9, Lane Barberly. Barberly is down at the 25-26. People come diving in, headgear first. Kirk, what is going on?
Well, he tried to, saw a guy out there, and he tried to lateral it to him and fumble the football. Then they had a mad scramble for it, and then you're going to get another penalty here, personal foul.
And one of the guys is coming off in not the greatest health.
Yeah, let's take a look at this and see what happens here at the end. First of all, it's a really good return by Barberly, who is of course, receivers caught 2 touchdown passes tonight, and you're going to see him, I think, as he gets hung up right here, he sees and he tries to get out there, and then you get a, I guess they're going to call maybe a spearing or something there on him. It's the only thing I can think of.
Targeting, yeah.
Yeah, targeting. That spearing is an old term for it.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. Same difference, though. Whenever you lead with your helmet trying to hurt somebody, that's good enough to get thrown out of the game. I also noticed on that replay right there that Barberly might have fallen on the football, and you can knock the wind out of yourself doing that.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of pain over here on the sideline, but
okay, they're in the pistol now. And the handoff goes straight ahead on this one to T.J. Thomas, and Thomas fighting toward the goal line, but he can't quite get there.
That's, I think, TJ's first carry of the night. He's a big back, 6'2", 210 out of Mesa, Arizona.
And the new quarterback in the game is number 12, Brad Schenker.
Looks like we got number 91, Harry. I should have let you say that, Joe. LaHawley, I think.
LaHawley, I believe, is right.
Yeah, he's down there, and they're helping him off.
Of course, that's, you know, one thing that the Greyhounds cannot afford is to lose players at this point. They need their best hands in there at all times. But here it is now. As Brad Schenker is the new quarterback for the Ft.Hays State University Tigers. But he's got, let's see, Zane Winger. We haven't called his name yet tonight. Or Kenton Ubelacher. They're the wide receivers left. And lined up wide right is Hunter Pickens. So that's 3 new faces at the wideout spots.
We've also got A.J. Cooper, number 87, in there at tight end, a redshirt freshman out of Cimarron, Kansas.
And the pistol shot is going to be given up to T.J. Thomas, and Thomas did not get in. He's at the 3-yard line.
I think you'll see Ft.Hays just continue to hammer away at them here.
Aaron Gaither's in the game, the guy that holds for the kicker, has checked in at wide receiver left. Well, I tell you what, some of these Ft.Hays State fans are just...
We're getting some pretty good coaching up here.
Yeah, we really are. Some of these kids are amazing. And again, the back, T.J. Thomas, is going to be stopped almost as soon as he gets the handoff.
Really good play there by Desmond Blue coming around the backside there and stopping T.J. Thomas for a loss.
Thomas has to come out because he had his headgear separated from his head.
It's at 3rd and goal here.
Yes, it is. 3rd and goal at the 3. They're going to swap people around. Now they're going to put Hunter Pickens out in the left slot. Nobody wide right on this set. Waiting the snap from center. Here it is. And the handoff goes, and he's going to be, he's knocked down before he ever got there. Levi Moores, number 27, Levi Moores carries the ball and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Really good play here on the perimeter by Charles County coming up and knocking him off of his feet. Going to force a field goal try here by Ft.Hays.
And it'll be Brandon Brow to try it. 42-12 right now, with Ft.Hays trying to add to that a little bit. Brandon Brow working out of the hold of Aaron Gaither. .6:20 left to play in the 4th quarter. And another flag. This one comes in. It's delay a game.
Yeah.
Took too long.
They probably did that on purpose.
Trying to get a better angle.
Yeah, and just eat up some of the clock.
Deep snap center is number 50, Wyatt Parker. Holder is number 16.
He buys his shoes the same place Shaquille Cooper buys his.
Thought you were going to say the same place Lee Hoffbauer buys his.
No.
Okay, there's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So add 3 more now. Ft.Hays State 45, Eastern New Mexico 12. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with the Tigers kickoff on ESPN 3. We are back at Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove, getting set for the Ft.Hays State Tigers to kick off again to the Greyhounds. That's him, Greyhounds from Eastern New Mexico University. You know, looking at this weather kind of settle down here, reminds me of an old friend of mine named Mike Clay, who's now the chief meteorologist at Bay News 9 in Tampa, Florida. He used to work for us here in Coppers Cove at KOOV. He said this is like having a cloud on the ground. That's exactly what it is. And the opening the kickoff goes to the hands of Johnny Smith at the 30-yard line. Kirk, have you noticed that a whole bunch of this ball game has been played between the 30s?
Really has been, and I tell you, it's kind of turning in with the way Ft.Hays has played to a good old-fashioned Western Kansas thrashing. I mean, they have really come out and played well both sides of the ball, made plays in special teams. The quarterback has played outstanding. You know, they're a good football team.
Okay, we got 6:13 left to play in regulation. Under center goes Wyatt Strand, and Strand hands it off. Kamal Cass gets the job done out to the 35-yard line. And that's just about do it. That'll be about a 5, maybe that's about a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, I think they got Gallagher in there right now.
As a matter of fact, Chevasier Gallagher. He's now running fullback for the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds. And he gets the call again. He's got a first down across the well, I say he does. Not quite. Yeah, now they're saying he does. Just got past the sticks.
He's another Canadian in this game. He's from Oshawa, Ontario. Oshawa. There's a big General Motors plant in Oshawa.
You been there?
I have not.
Okay.
I have sold some pickups that came from Oshawa.
Seems like they'd bring you up there and pay for you to come and have all that fun in that nice, cool weather.
I have been to Detroit in February to the International Auto Show, and it does get cold in Detroit in February.
Yeah. Well, anyway, right now, it was about a 3-yard pickup on that last play for Devashier. I know that's his first name. I don't remember his last name. Gallagher, okay. I should know that. Funny guy named Gallagher. You ever seen his act with the watermelons?
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. Sledge-o-matic. Okay, here we go now. Again, they're set up in the triple option, and the handoff. No, wait a minute. I thought there was a handoff, and doggone if there wasn't, but it was the wrong one I didn't see. That's number 3 that got creamed back there, Tayshawn Gary.
Number 30, Kane Kelly, in their defensive back, 6'2", 200 senior out of Abilene, Kansas, playing in his last football game here. Makes a good play on the perimeter. You see him come up there with a good stop against Gary.
Well, I'm glad that that the coaching staff, the Coach Brown and his crew, are getting as many of the seniors into this game as they can. And the handoff this time will they'll go to the right side with Leandre Williams carrying the ball.
I think Doe reached up and got a little bit of the face mask, and before he could turn it loose, they caught him. Let's see if that's what we get called here. I think yeah, I don't think he intentionally grabbed it, but.
Now, can you believe this? They're ahead 45-12, and the Ft.Hays State fans are booing a penalty call.
If you drove all the way down here from Hays, Kansas, and things had gone as well as they haven't had a chance to boo very much, and you want to get it out of your system. You know, when things go good, you don't get a chance to boo very often.
You are a piece of work. You're funny. Okay, the pitch back. It's going to be a halfback option pass. No, it's not. He's going to pull it down and drag it to the ground at the 46-yard line.
They've got a bunch of backups in the secondary there for Ft.Hays, but they weren't fooled, and they had them covered down the field, so he had to cut it up and get what he could get.
That was Leandre Williams for the Greyhounds, by the way. Spot the ball now at the 46-yard line. 3 minutes, 35 seconds left to play in regulation. With the situation like it is, I don't think we're going to see any timeouts, but we may. Again, the triple wing set now, and a man goes in motion, and the handoff comes to the left. And with the football this time, it's Johnny Smith, and Smith, fighting for every bit he can get, goes down at the 41-yard line, and he is tackled there by Kane Kelly.
Put him in a third manageable here.
Again, I want to salute Coach Brown. for getting as many of the seniors in the game as he can, because he knows this is, most of them, this is their last game they'll ever play. 2:55 left to play in the fourth quarter. And a man in motion. They'll go with Gallagher again. No, I take it back. Gallagher just, I tell you what, they must work on this stuff constantly, because the fakes that the Greyhounds have been able to put out tonight have just been fantastic.
Another good run there for a first down by Wyatt Strand.
Strand's carry is good for a Greyhound. First down.
Come on, defense, let's get them, baby. You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
This time it is Gallagher carrying the ball to the 30-yard line, or just inside of it anyway. 2:26 to play in the fourth quarter now. Our score, Ft.Hays State University 45, Eastern New Mexico University 12. And the Eastern New Mexico offense deploys. They're going to send a man way out wide to the left side. Clarence Cowart's his name. But Wyatt Strand's going to keep the ball. That kid's got some moves going to the right. Strand still on his feet inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Got a flag coming out by the center judge. And we got somebody down out here. Don't know who it is. I've got the glasses on it, but there's so many people around this kid that I can't really tell you who it is. But a flag came out. And then we looked to our right, and we 94 white is Noah Debin. Okay, so if it is 94, that's who it is, Noah Debin. But the flag came out, then we look to our right, and we see this guy laying there. He's laying on the ground.
Whatever happened behind the play there. It was a flag that came in really late.
And this one, it's going to go against the Tigers, because the officials are moving the football down inside the 10-yard line to about the 9.
Let's take a look here and see if, here's 94, you can see, and they're going to come out, and I think he just gets cut there. You see him go down, and it looks like he's grabbing at his right knee. And I don't think that it wasn't an illegal block or anything, but it just caught him when he had his foot planted in the ground.
So Noah Debin goes out, and he'll get help over to the bench, gets a nice round of applause from his fans.
Junior there out of Littleton, Colorado. Hope he's not hurt very bad.
Okay, at the 9-yard line, first and goal for the Greyhounds. And the man comes in motion. He gets the pitch. Coming left, trying to turn up inside. That's Johnny Smith to the 6-yard line.
Really good job on the perimeter there by the Tigers of turning him back in, and they had a bunch of help there and strung that play out and did a really good job.
About a minute 20 left to play in regulation time, and basically the Greyhounds want to get on the board once more before this one's in the book. Strand under center. Strand loses the ball. It's on the ground, but he's able to get it back. How many timeouts left they have? Two?
Two. I don't see them rushing out there to call one. Strand just dropped the snap right there. That's happened a couple of times tonight.
Well, he's a freshman. Oh, and look out. I think they're trying to get Coach Brown with the Gatorade. He's lucky, though. He had on a rain suit.
Yeah, he was dressed for it.
Under center again goes Wyatt. Strand sends a man in motion, and Strand is going to try to throw the football. No, he can't do that, so he's going to try to run the football. He's back to his left, runs into his own man. Still behind the line. He can throw it. Sure, he can, and there he goes. And everything is copacetic, except there was no completion. And the guy that was chasing him around was Keel Seamus. But is there another flag? I don't see a flag. I see a towel on the field.
No, I don't think they got a flag there. He did a good job of buying time, but they did a good job of covering everybody down the field. And
27 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. And the clock is stopped, obviously, because of the incompletion on that forward pass try. Ball's at the 9-yard line. And it's fourth down, 4th and goal. Wyatt Strand looks over the defense, looks left, looks right, goes under center, takes the snap, and throws it into the end zone. It is incomplete. So now the Ft.Hays State Tigers are going to have to come back out and take a couple of snaps. Well, one snap anyhow. One snap coming up, and then that should just about wrap this thing up. I want to thank everybody for listening and from watching and everything like that. Kirk and I don't get to do this, but maybe once a year, and it's fun to do television after we do football all the other times. After we do radio, I said, I meant. But at any rate, thank everybody for watching and for getting the ESPN3 app and all that. And yep, they're going to a victory formation right now. There's the snap, there's the kneel down, and that's going to do it.
Very dominant performance by the Ft.Hays State Tigers. All the people over here on this side ought to be proud of them. Good season for Eastern New Mexico. Things didn't go their way tonight, but, you know, at the banquet we had last night, we get to hang around both teams in both class operations. Really good people and very successful Heart of Texas Bowl, Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. And, Joe, you know, a lot of people that don't hear you all the time, I enjoy working with you. You're really a legend in radio here in Central Texas, especially in football, so it was great to work with you.
As with you, Kirk, you've got the fastest pair of eyes I've ever seen. Does that come from being a car salesman?
I don't know.
Okay, folks, we're going to wrap it up. Once again, our final score, the Ft.Hays State University Tigers defeat the Eastern New Mexico University Greyhounds 45-12 at the 2016 Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. This has been an NCAA Division II contest, and we sure hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks to the players, the coaches, everybody for being involved in this. Also to our promoter and our producer, Sam, and everybody involved with the production of today's game. I'm Joe Lombardi for Kirk Whitehead. Good night from Bulldog Stadium in Copperas Cove.